I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase a bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. Slowing down, I'll give up everything. Daunting all, if I could see my dreams, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
I'll give up everything, daunting all, if I can see my dream, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything, make what I want a reality. Slowing down, I'll give up everything, daunting all, if I can see my dreams, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go, don't let go, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. I wake up every minute with a fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Stroke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact. 'Cause I'm my own worst enemy, only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I
Hello and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and let's get this show started. Um, yeah, you can't handle the truth. No one can handle the truth. You will be gaslit to infinity and beyond. Yes, it's sad, but it's true. Um, they don't want to tell us the truth. You will never get the truth. You'll only get gaslit. You'll always get some kind of a story and some kind of a fluffy story. I call it. Never the truth, because you're not that important to know the truth. You're just working ants. How many times I have to tell you guys? You are nothing but working ants. You have no true power. You have nothing. Like, you think you have power. That's a figment of your imagination. It's not true. The only power you have is to get your butt up, go to work, pay your bills, take care of yourself, and repeat every single day. And it's just, it is what it is, and they will never tell you the truth. How long has it taken to get the truth on JFK? That's since from the '60s, and we still over what 60 years, what almost 60 years, and we still haven't gotten the truth. We still don't know exactly who pulled the trigger and who killed President John F. Kennedy. Can't handle the truth. We still have a lot of questions around Martin Luther King. Still, no answers. Remember, this was on Pat Bondi's desk. It was on her desk, right? She said that the files are on my desk. The Epstein files, the JFK files, and the Martin Luther King files. Bitch, man, how come you choose to not released to Epstein? There's no Epstein list. There's nothing with Epstein. Everything's all about child porn and all the child crazy shit. Stupid. Um, but then why haven't you released anything of the JFK? Hmm. Makes you wonder. How about Martin Luther King? Hmm. Nah. Yeah. Now you know that your alphabetical agencies here are just full of shit. The swamp is full to the top, and it has nothing but piece of shit people in it, and they're gonna still feed out garbage to you, and you're gonna feed into it, and you're gonna listen to their narratives, and you're gonna have some kind of feeling towards it, like they give a shit. They don't give a shit about you. Like Michael Jackson, like I said, like how Michael Jackson said a long time ago, oh, they don't really care about you. All I gotta say is that they don't care about you. They don't care about you. You are just a number. You are a social security number. That's all you are. You are a mouth feeding, bottom feeding individual. And it's true and it's so sad, but all of us are. As much as we want to think we're so important, we're so this, you're nothing but like dee, 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 on this planet. You're like nothing. You're like not even a fleck, like a flake of dust in this planet. Your importance and your voice really does not matter. Like, doesn't matter. It's sad, man, how things could have been, and yet we get a lot of bullshit, and we get caught up in bullshit. And the fact that we'll never know the true story behind JFK, we'll never know the true story behind Martin Luther King, we'll never get the true story on all the investigations, even UFOs. Like the UFOs, they're real, they're real. Okay, they show you a couple of footage, and then they like, yeah, they're real, they're real. Okay, they're real. So who the fuck are they? Oh, we don't know. Oh, everybody don't know. Everybody acts stupid. Everybody acts like they're a bunch of lighters, and they're gaslighting the whole place. uh, it's just wild. You know, I feel bad for those in America that still believes the media and believes the politicians, because when a leader speaks, the leader lies, and it's very true. When a leader speaks to you, guaranteed the leader is lying to you. And it's just it's a clash, and that's the clash that we're in. We're in a bad time in the world, and things are not going to get better. We have a lot of problems within the world, and it really sucks. I mean, we have this flooding that happened in Texas, and a lot of people. I told you, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people died in this. Where, don't be surprised. This is over 500, 600 people dead. This was a 4th of July event, and yet people got swept away, and they're dead, and they're still calling it a rescue mission. It's not a rescue mission. It's past 5 days. No, this is a recovery mission now. It's now you have to go and recover the dead bodies, the dead. Like, there's so many, and people are just are gone. They're gone, and they're noticing, like, the death count keeps going up, as long, and also right beside it, the missing count, it keeps going up. Like, it's just ridiculous. The times are wild. I wish things would be better, but it's not going to get better. We're in it for the long haul. This is a ride that we don't really want to be on, but we have no choice to be on it. Let's check out some news on this flooding. Give me 1 sec to set it up.
It's crazy to think that there's still 10 bodies missing out here.
That water was that high. It went over the bridge.
So nothing can be taken out of here.
Look at that.
Because there's rescue still going on. They never know where those bodies could be.
How the river used to be that small, and it grew so huge it toppled over this bridge, leaving debris all over. That's just pure, like, the strength of water is amazing.
You can see by the lines here.
Wow, look at that, push the bridge.
Where they used to be, and now they're shifted.
Wow, it shifted the whole bridge. Yeah, that bridge is going to have to be torn down and redone. That's not a safe bridge. They have all these supplies and so forth. That's great for the rescue people that are out there trying to recover these individuals. But at the end of the day, these individuals are not here with us. They're not alive. They're far gone. Just thinking about it just makes me mad, because it's like, when is it gonna get better, right? When is this, like, everything's gonna start turning around? Because right now I just feel like we're in a big time roller coaster dive. We're in a free fall. And it started, like, with all this 4th of July, like, madness with this floods, and now with the Trump bullshit, with the Epstein files, and he doesn't want to get his friends in trouble. I'm telling you, those files are never going to come out. As long as Trump's in office, I don't think they'll come out, just because it implements a lot of individuals, and it exonerates, and not only that, but it gets a lot of powerful people that are important, with big backings and big money behind them. They'll never get in trouble. They'll never be held accountable. It's like closed case. That's it. You're gonna continue to be lied to, and you're gonna shut up and eat crow and go back to work and keep paying your bills and keep on with your lives, because you're gonna forget about this in a few years. You're not even gonna care, you know, and you're not even gonna care that you were being lied to. And that's just the facts, you know. They went ahead and closed Epstein's case, so there's like, it's just I don't know anymore at this point. Who knows at this point? It just sucks. Let's go to another story here. I want to check out from. Let me set it up first. Here we go. All right, got some Houthis attacking in the Red Sea. All right, I guess we could see that in a little bit. Let's open that window up for another show there. Okay, let's just set this up. Okay, here we go.
Happy Tuesdays with Julie. Let's bring her in. Hey,
This was from last night, so we're
Always
watching this from last night.
First up, Coney Island, Brooklyn. A little boy got snatched right off the sidewalk. Watch.
What? Who's carrying that little boy? You throwing a little boy?
Nah, he's wildin'.
Luckily, the parents didn't freeze. That man dropped the boy, got chased into an intersection, and now he's in custody. And the kid's safe at home.
Oh my
You hear
God!
about kidnapping all the time.
Look,
You
he just
never
picked up the
see
boy
it
and threw him
happen
on
in
the
real
floor.
time.
No, and in front of the parents.
they
The
went
mother
after
and father
him.
both actually ran down the guy, and then within 4 minutes, the cops were there. But they actually had to tackle this guy and hold him down until the cops showed up. Fortunately, the cops were there
Whoa.
within 4 minutes. But here's the example of why New York City is so screwed
That's
up.
child
Because
abuse.
there are criminals that are brazen enough
Look
to
how he
actually
threw him.
attempt to kidnap a child in front of
Threw
clearly
him
a
on the
very
floor.
busy street with spectators and witnesses in front of the parents.
What was he
Because
wearing?
it's
A
a
fez? Is
lawless
that what you
area.
call
Oh
that
my
hat?
God!
I don't know. I would call it dreads. I think
Hey,
those were
Chloe,
dreads.
how
I
you
think
doing?
that was a fez.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
not
I have the
dreads.
Galaxy
you were so
today
hip.
because I want to be
Well,
far
I'm just
away from
cultured.
this planet.
Yeah,
Next
Oh
up,
man of the
Philly.
streets.
A cookout turns into a shootout. Warning,
Oh
this
my
video is
God,
a little
Chloe,
graphic.
you see this? What? It's a shootout! Look, 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 look! Whoa, whoa. Oh my God!
3 people died, 9 others hurt.
What?
I mean, like a regular old barbecue.
Yeah, 12 people were shot, and the youngest victim, 15 years old, injured,
Oh
and
my
19-year-old was in
God.
critical condition. This is also happening on a residential neighborhood where there are kids and there are
Oh,
families.
you see, that's
and
why
they don't
Philly's
care. They don't
Philly's
care.
no
And I
good,
guarantee
man.
you-
I was talking about Philly.
And
Yeah.
aiming the
Just
gun nowhere.
Anywhere. So anybody could be walking down that street. But this is because I guarantee you these guys have rap sheets.
Oh,
I
all of them.
guarantee you this isn't the first time they've shot a gun at somebody. And I guarantee this isn't the first time
Right.
that they've been in
And
trouble.
I guarantee Larry Krasner, they call him Uncle Larry, will probably let him off if they do.
Oh,
get
of
pinched.
course. Of course.
And finally, we're about to go down under. An
Oh my
arsonist
God.
tried to set a salon on fire with some gas, but he slipped and then he lit himself on fire.
Stupid.
He
No,
ran away with
he
his
lit
pants
himself on
literally
fire.
on fire. He's still on the loose, but if you see a guy with 3rd-degree burns, call the cops.
On his crotch.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you see
I-
a
Oh
guy
my
with
God.
a roasted crotch.
He's on
You gotta
fire.
be a little bit more specific, Jesse. I like details and facts.
Okay,
First of all,
burnt crotch.
Hey, he looks like the
Call the
Flash
cops.
right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Is
If
this
you
the
watch
Flash?
the video, I mean, he was spraying gasoline all over the place, whatever propellant that he was using, and he slipped and fell in it. So his body was absolutely covered, and he didn't think,
What
oh,
a
maybe I
dummy.
shouldn't light a match.
Oh, not the smartest arsonist.
No.
Most
Listen,
of them
this
aren't,
is where
though.
you
No.
stop,
One
drop,
more,
and
Julie.
roll.
You got to keep your shoes on at the airport now. It's the law.
Yay, we got to keep our
The
shoes.
TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints.
Yeah, because your
The
floors
golden
are
age of
fucking
America is
filthy with
here.
everybody's feet, like
Thank God.
germs
Thank
all over the
God.
place.
First of all, I don't wear socks.
It's
like
disgusting.
Right now, flip-flops, no shoes, no
Julie,
socks.
put your feet up, Julie.
Yep,
Let
that's
everybody
right.
see the flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
Well,
Julie,
not that
let me see
far
your
up, Julie.
legs. Girl,
Joe,
you're
I'm
flexible.
not doing
Girl, don't be
anything
showing that on
inappropriate. It's just
TV.
right there. We
Hello.
talked about my flexibility. But anyway, that's
Girl,
it for
don't be-
another show. I mean, we
Don't
already
be
did.
showing your hoo-ha like that.
No, I always go through security
you better
and I
put your
never
legs
wear,
down.
socks.
Right.
So I'm
I love your
constantly having to
dress.
walk
I
through
love the
security
yellow.
barefoot. And
Oh,
I'm like,
Lord,
It's the
that's
worst.
beautiful
darn it,
yellow.
I forgot to pack
I
socks.
one time had to take my shoes off and I took them off and I had a hole in my sock.
Oh, you
And
did?
some guy looks at me and goes, "Hey, Waters," and he looks down and he goes, "Not paying you enough at Fox."
That's amazing.
Oh,
right,
That's better than
damn.
no socks.
Good to see you.
All right.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News
listen,
YouTube page
when I used to
catch
go
our
to
hottest
the airport,
interviews and
I
most
always wear socks. I don't care. Like, I wear my shoes and I wear my socks, and I would, take it off and go through the scanners and all this stuff. They take my X-ray and check your whole body, and they get really invasive. Because every single time you get on a plane, you got to get a little bit of radiation. It's like, let me give you some radiation before you get on the plane. Hit you up, like they give you a quick little MRI, like a little X-ray to see what's inside. Like, it's crazy. Airports are wild, but this world is wild. You saw that gun shooting? Damn, that was like that's no joke. That was extreme. This is another short video here. Let's set it up and take a look at it. Actually, let me set up a couple of them so I can have them ready. We are going to see a show. Tyson De La Cruz from last night. I got to catch up on that. We got some other news here. That I got some crazy news. I got the crazies. Trust. But I want to set them all up before I show it to you guys. But how's your day going, Chloe? I hope you're doing good. I hope it stopped raining down in Texas. I know it's supposed to rain here, and it's supposed to get a little hectic, but that's here nor there. Let me see. I got like 9 stories, like 9 different stories. I haven't seen them yet, so I want to watch it together. But I gotta open it. There we go. Now we gotta set it up. Okay, so which one we want to watch? Just gotta remove this one. Okay, let's see this. The Houthis. It's a deadly attack. It's a deadly Houthis attack on a cargo ship in the Red Sea. The Houthis have not gotten the message to stop attacking cargo ships. Now they're gonna get bombarded by the U.S. It's crazy, but they don't learn. It's just, when are they gonna learn? The Houthis need to back off, and they're not. They keep pushing the narrative, and this is and they were attacking from Yemen. So let's take a look at the story. Whoa! You see the explosion on the ship right there, that cargo ship. Whoa! Look, another one. That's 2 explosions. So what's this? A drone attack? Oh man, you know what sucks about this? The oil and all the stuff that's polluting the waters. You see that? You see the water has had that little film of nastiness. Well, look at the bridge of this boat. Look, oh man, the ship is not good, and it's leaking a lot of fuel or something into the ocean. Now, where's the environmentalists, the ones complaining and bitching about, oh, it's gonna sink. Oh, this ship is going down. Yeah, it's sinking. This ship is a bye-bye. If there's oil in that ship, they're fucked. Like, their environment loses. Yeah, you see, it's sinking. Not good. Where's the environmentalist? Where's that Greta girl? That Greta Thunberg? What's her name? Why is she not on the ship complaining and bitching and protesting? Oh my God, the environment! Look, like, no. But this is a travesty for Earth and for, like, the sea life that's there. kind of looks like the Titanic and how the Titanic like went down. Same kind of. It looks like the same type of image. This boat is flipping and it's sinking. Great. There goes the environment. But do we really deserve to be here in this world? Do we deserve? No. Look at this mess. Look at the. Like I said, I'm sorry for the people who are watching me, but I'm still rooting for the asteroid to hit us. I am so pushing this asteroid to come right at us and just blow this planet up. We don't deserve to be here. I mean, there's a lot of nice people. Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of nice people and people that deserve to be here. But in reality, humanity doesn't really deserve to live in this planet. It's not for us. And the way we abuse it and tarnish it and just, we can never get along. We can never do anything right. Everything has to be all, it's all negative and hate. That's all it is. Let me see this one.
The rift between Elon Musk and Donald Trump has deepened.
I think I want to watch this together with you guys because this is from Sky News and it's about Elon and Trump. So that'll be interesting to watch right now because what's going on, it's just wild.
The rift between Elon Musk and Donald Trump has deepened after the tech billionaire declared former Trump advisor Steve Bannon is in the
You never been on the plane?
files. He posted the comment in response to a tweet from another former Trump advisor, Roger Stone, who was asking why Mr. Bannon had met with Epstein after his convictions. Joining me now is Sky News contributor Kosha Garda. Kosha, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. Look, the bromance, it's well and truly over, but this is quite a startling claim by Musk.
It certainly is. Great to be with you, Danica. The plot thickens and the theories and
conspiracy theories
thicken because there is an information
for
going
about an
out
hour.
there.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain here too.
Surprised by the news this week coming out of the administration. That said, Elon Musk is not exactly a reliable narrator on this front because he, as we all remember, just 2 weeks ago, accused President Trump of being in the files and then promptly deleted that tweet for many reasons, and that he didn't come off very well on that. And nobody believes that for a second because Joe Biden would have been the first to release that if that were true. So when
not really, because they could hold it against
people, I think people are unlikely
Biden.
To believe it at face value, though anything is certainly possible. On the flip side, the Trump administration hasn't exactly handled this well, and either. And a lot of people in their base are not happy with several, especially Pam Bondi and Alina Habba and people like that in the administration that seem to have been all over the place on the messaging. So it's really a mess, and a lot of people are making political hay out of it.
Yeah, that's very, very clear. Now, I've got to ask you about some comments that Donald Trump has made. He's lashed out at Vladimir Putin, claiming he talks a lot of BS when it comes to Ukraine. This is what he said.
I'm not happy with Putin. I can tell you that much right now, because he's killing a lot of people. And a lot of them are his soldiers. We get a lot of thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth.
Kosher, it was only a few months ago Trump said that Ukraine started the war, which was, of course, wrong. Why the change in sentiment now towards Putin?
I think what President Trump is showing is that he is ultimately after peace and after deal making. He's a peacemaker and a deal maker, and he understands, he's a realist. He understands that none of these actors are good. Things are gray. It's not black and white. And so he has never thrown down fully for Ukraine. He's no fan of Zelensky, as we know. And he's also showing people that actually, when the situation is the way it is right now, as he mentioned, and the fighting continues and all that, he's not particularly a fan of Putin either. He just wants to get a deal done. Same thing you could say about Israel and Gaza as well, in terms of how he's hit out at both sides of that. And I think that's kind of what he's doing, where he wants these conflicts to end, and he's frustrated with just the lack of urgency, it seems, from both sides to be able to come to the table and negotiate some kind of peace settlement.
Well, it's interesting because the White House has now asked the Pentagon for options for sending Ukraine additional weapons. But Trump's been toing and froing over military aid for Kiev for weeks now. You just got to wonder what's going on, Kosha.
I think that was interesting. I think he wants to keep his options open. He likes to be unpredictable. That's something that he's talked about many times, even before he entered the political arena. And it is an option. All options are on the table for any negotiation. That's one form of leverage, certainly, that the U.S. has to try and draw Putin out and get him to the table if that's what he's after. On the other hand, he is personally against it. He knows his base is against it. The American public is against sending more money. It's enough is enough is sort of the sentiment back home. We have our own problems to fix and can't keep sending unlimited money and weapons to other conflicts all around the world. So I think he's kind of juggling sort of a balancing act of all those things, but he definitely wants to understand his options. And that's why he probably asked the Pentagon to drop those plans.
Yeah, it'll be actually interesting to see what happens there, given Donald Trump's been flip-flopping on this issue. Now, you alluded to this before, but Donald Trump and Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu have met twice now in the space of 24 hours, but there's still yet to be a ceasefire resolution for Gaza. Kosha, how much is riding on getting a deal over the line while these two are having their meetings?
I mean, a lot in terms of timing for sure, because this has dragged on as well for too long. And Trump really wants to kind of finish this as much as possible so he can return to the domestic agenda, which he is pursuing. But these are sort of distractions that are very serious on the world stage that he obviously plays a role in. Whether it happens in the next 48 hours while they're together or in short order thereafter remains to be seen. There's often stagecraft when state leaders are meeting and, what they're conveying publicly versus what's happening with different back channels and diplomatic channels and all of that. But I think they've aligned on a framework. I don't know how much progress is being made as we sit here in the next 24 to 48 hours, but the framework is get the hostages out, try to get to a ceasefire that holds, and then do what they're calling the day after, which is some kind of humanitarian zone for the Gazan Palestinian citizens separate from Hamas that they can reside in and kind of fracture that the hold that Hamas has had over them. That's a framework they're working towards. It's very complicated. Lots of mediators are involved, and hopefully we get there sooner rather than later.
Well, I mean, that's certainly the hope to come out of this, that there will be finally some peace. And, of course, the Israeli PM's nominated Donald Trump as well for the Nobel Peace Prize. So if he pulls this one off, I'm sure he'll be a worthy nominee. Good to see you, Kosha Garda. Thank you very much for joining me.
Wow. It's just... boy. It makes you just want to exhale. It's like waiting to exhale. It's wild. Just so many stories that I gotta catch up with, and I want us to see. But did you guys know, by any chance, that today is the shortest day of the year? I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? I mean, I kind of knew it was one of these days, but I didn't know it was today. So let's take a look at this report from Sky News of the shortest day, and it's today. The shortest day in recorded history. That sounds pretty recorded history. Yeah, let's listen into this report.
Some serious stuff in a second, but there was just a lot of other weird stuff that happened today that I thought I might begin our conversation with tonight, including if today felt just a little bit different
yeah, Chloe,
than every other day, if you felt like you had not enough time to get around and do whatever it is that you did today, well, guess what? You are not incorrect, because a very strange scientific reason means that today, July the 9th, is the shortest day in the history of the world.
What?
Apparently, it is 1 nanosecond shorter than the average day because of the rotation
nanosecond
of the Earth, and apparently the fact that the planet is getting ever so slightly smaller. Again, the explanation that comes here via an American news website, I think this one, yeah.
So the planet is getting smaller.
Earth is expected to complete a full rotation on the 9th of July at roughly 1.3 milliseconds less than the standard 86,400 seconds that define a 24-hour day. With that time difference, imperceptible to humans, it does represent a broader pattern that has left scientists scratching their heads for years. After thousands of years of the Earth slowing down, Earth has been spinning faster in recent years, constantly breaking records for its shortest
We're breaking
days.
records, nanosecond records.
Now, again, if you felt like today just was a millisecond faster, everything was a little bit, yes, because of the Earth's rotation and it getting smaller. I told you it was a weird day today. As I mentioned, can you believe there is a government anywhere in Australia that would tell you how much time you have to spend playing with your puppy? Well, that is apparently exactly what the ACT Parliament is seriously considering. Dog owners must spend 3 hours minimum with their pets under a new proposed animal welfare law. Now, again, this is one of those things where, and all of us care about animal welfare, and all of us want to make sure that the pets and puppies
spend 3 hours with their pets. My fucking cats sleep with me every night.
No question about that.
What are you talking about? That I have to spend 3 hours with them. They're with me all the time.
To somehow sort of like the old punch in, punch out clock? Are you supposed to put a stepper on Rover?
Yeah, what are you going to do? How are you going to track
Is
that?
a council ranger going to follow you
have a
around?
dog. Did you spend 3 hours with them yet?
It will be a recommendation. But if it's going to be potentially enforceable, how will it ever be enforced? The ACT
They're going to put
government,
chips.
and I know there are a lot of good people.
Remember, they put
the
these.
The joke still stands. In terms of its government,
They put
it
the
is
chips
much
in
more
the
like
pets.
a local council than it is a state.
I guess it'll monitor
Obviously, the Northern
if
Territory
you
has
spend
fewer
time
people,
with
but
the
a much
dog or not.
bigger area, but certainly of the territories.
I don't know.
States, it's small.
It's so weird.
And sometimes its priorities, in my opinion, are also a little small. Okay?
That's Australia.
Now, again, have a look at this. Under the draft Code of Practice for the Welfare of Dogs in the ACT, features a number of mandatory standards, including restricting surgical debarking, that's weird, and making it compulsory for owners to provide animals with human contact for a reasonable length of time, 3 hours minimum. Now,
Each
again,
day.
the code will include guidelines, blah, blah, blah. And apparently you have some issues around retractable leads. Again, just think this through for a second, okay? Now, if you've got like a really active dog, you might be able to get 3 hours of cuddle time or walking in. Okay, fine, fair enough. What do you do with a rabbit? What do you do with a snake? And who's going to police this? Believe it or not, a great free thinker that is John Roscombe has a strong opinion about this because he sent the story to me to talk about when we have a chat a little bit later in the show. A passionate pet owner himself. How would he feel about a government or somebody following you around with a clicker telling you whether it's okay or not to spend more time with your pet?
Oh no. Oh no. What's going on? It's hump day, right? So we're gonna get some weird ass fucking stories today. Oh, they're gonna come to your house. They're gonna be like, okay, he spent 1 hour. Let's see. I think that's 2 hours. 2.5. He only spent 2.5 hours with the dog. Write him a ticket. Get the fucking ticket. Let's write him a ticket because just write him a ticket. He spent only 2.5 hours with the puppy, and we're sending him $150 fine for not spending the other half hour with the dog. That sounds stupid. It's funny. He was like, "So what do we do with the rabbits and the snakes and the cats? Is there going to be a certain amount of time that we have to spend with the cats? Because my cat sleeps with me. You know, my cats. I need a break from my cats. How about me a free time away from my cats? Because they're very clingy. And trust me, my little one, she always backs her butt to me. My cat is so unique. Every night she comes and she's like a dump truck. She backs it up, beep, 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 and she puts it right next to me. She's always next to me. My little one, oh my goodness. And the mama, I call mama, is her mom, Tasha. Well, she doesn't come on the bed like that because Nala, her daughter, doesn't let her get on the bed. So that's a battle, you know, king of the hill, and the little one is the queen of the hill. But how the hell are you gonna track the pets, you know? Yeah, none of my pets got chips neither. It's insanity. Yeah, it is. What about text? Yeah, right. It's like they don't spend time with the kids. Like, and then the fact that it's like, okay, if you're gonna run this, oh, you got to spend minimum 3 hours with your dog. Who's gonna control this? Like, who's gonna police this? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. She comes up and kisses me every time I walk in that door. Yeah, my cat. Oh my god. Tasha was my birthday name before I changed it? Okay. Well, my cat's name is Tasha, and her daughter is named Nala. Tasha and Nala. Those are my babies. But what a weird world, right? You gotta spend time with your pets, like 3 hours minimum. Like, are you kidding me? I ain't spend no damn 3 hours with no damn. It's like mandatory. You gotta be mandatory to spend time with your pets. I think that's insane, right? It's like, how are they gonna, like? I don't get it. Like, why are they bringing that up? That's the bigger question. What reason do they have to even bring that up? It sounds very foolish. Like, anyhow, let's go to the next story here. We're gonna go into Benny Johnson. Let's go listen to some Benny Johnson now.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. We live inside of an era of enraging lack of transparency with the federal government. We promised
Tasha,
secrets would be revealed, but they seem to be being held tighter to the chest than ever. There are some good forces inside the Trump administration that are trying their best to give us information about presidential assassinations. The JFK assassination, for instance.
Peter must have cried about animals' mental health. Like, the dog's called Peter. Like, listen, my owner's not spending time with me. Can you do something about it?
Strange connections, right? Everything from the mob to Mossad and to the state of Israel, the nuclear program, and so on around JFK's assassination. Anyway, the point is that that had minimal redactions.
Yeah, I know.
That release,
Pets are very
and they're
special.
releasing
My cats
more
are always
tranches
with me.
of it. But that release had minimal.
So what happens if you go on vacation?
A lot of the kind of constellation. What was
You
happening.
can't take your animal with you. What are you going to do with the dog?
The assassination of a U.S. president is the most severe thing that can happen.
You're going to get a fine for every day that you're gone?
Part of a pederast
Because you
ring,
can't spend the 3
like
hours with your
Clinton
dog
was
and
in
you left them
Epstein.
at a kennel?
That's also very severe, and we should get all that information. But like learning about people who are trying to kill the president, making sure that them or all of the people who are working with them are locked up and see justice, and that we understand the full conspiracy around the attempted murder of a president is very important. Trump administration has done good work on the JFK front. I think we can all agree on that. And it's a big pressure release valve for the country. And President Trump had multiple assassination attempts against him in the year 2024. And we've been asking about those. We've done our level-headed best to try and get to the bottom of it. Obviously, while it ended in an iconic photograph, it could have also ended in a on-air execution. That was the intention here. Now, there was the time in Butler when Trump got shot in the head. There was also a time that I think you could argue Trump was in as much danger, and that was on his golf course in Palm Beach, where a committed assassin was hiding out in the bush line in order to take what would have been a very easy shot at the president as he golfed. Now, we asked the Department of Homeland Security Secretary about this, because we know that Ryan Routh was working with Ukrainian contacts in order to get weapons to kill Trump. Very strange. Here's what she said.
From Ukraine. Right. Any Ukrainian connection there? Any further information on Ryan Routh?
There's still intelligence agencies here that are still doing investigations here. So my ability to speak to that right now today is not something that I can give you a lot of details on. But I will tell you that there are investigations ongoing, and knowing those ties are critically important. So how people come into this country, when they come on our radar, and what their nefarious activities were when they were back home is very important to predicting what they will do once they get here, and what they will do, and if they have real threats, not just against the president, but threats to people who live here too. So These individuals that come in, we need to know their ties and why they're here, and if they really do love America, and if they are a threat to our leader.
So Kristi Noem in this interview goes on to say that there might have been a broader conspiracy, that the intelligence agencies are looking into it, and that many of these individuals may not have acted alone. Dangerous stuff. Well, it turns out that to be true. So after that interview, the DOJ revealed that the Trump assassin, Ryan Ralph, tried to buy military weapons from Ukraine to kill Trump, including a rocket launcher. Ralph asked Ukrainian military for a Stinger or RPG to take out Trump, saying that Trump would be bad for Ukraine. Ralph goes on to say that the weapons of war that are paid for and supplied by U.S. military get lost all the time in the battlefield. No one would miss them. He's right about that, by the way. The Ukraine illegally smuggled U.S. weapons to kill other leaders or state enemies. Like, is this a normal thing, we asked? Most importantly, the Ukrainian government knew about the Trump assassination in advance. Did they warn anyone? This is absolutely massive. Of course, we've got no answers to this, but here's the DOJ's own findings, right? Ryan Ralph himself, a rabid Ukraine activist. This went thermonuclear, 10,000 reposts, 25,000 likes. Anything happening here? Anyone? Nothing? We're just going to give Ukraine more weapons? That's what just happened today. Goodness gracious. We never learn. Anyway, the point is that, again, you heard it first on this show 3-4 months ago. Kristi Noem said there was most likely broader co-conspirators in these assassination attempts of Donald Trump. And here we have, ladies and gentlemen, the DOJ accuses and charges 2 people of selling guns to Trump's would-be assassin, Ryan Ralph. The Department of Justice has accused 2 people of selling rifle to Ryan Ralph, charged with trying to kill the president, Florida Golf Club. The 2 defendants, Tina Brown Cooper and Ronnie Oxendine, have pleaded guilty to gun-related charges in federal court after being indicted in March and arrested in April. Cooper pleaded guilty to firearm trafficking, and Oxendine pleaded guilty to possessing an unregistered firearm after police found short-barreled shotgun in his storage building. In court papers filed in both cases as part of a plea agreement, the Justice Department said the 2 sold Ralph a Chinese-made SKS rifle in August. Okay, so Chinese-made. With Cooper allegedly acting as the middleman in the sale between Ralph and Oxendine. Law enforcement said Cooper worked with Oxendine at the time of the sale at a roofing company in North Carolina. Federal prosecutors alleged that Cooper, Ralph, and Oxendine met at the roofing company headquarters, where Ralph paid Oxendine $350 cash for the rifle and $100 to Cooper for helping arrange the sale. 6 weeks later, Ralph was allegedly found with that same rifle outside of Trump's golf club. Neither of the defendants told law enforcement they had any advanced knowledge of Ralph's plans. Ralph had been charged with attempted assassination of the presidential candidate, unlawful gun possession, with prosecutors saying he was not allowed to own a firearm due to a prior 2002 weapons conviction, where he used a fully automatic machine gun against law enforcement. So they called that a weapon of mass destruction. So he's not allowed to own a gun. Cooper allegedly told the FBI that Ralph asked for help buying the gun for his son to use as protection, and he couldn't buy a gun due to his criminal conviction. That's true. In September interview with FBI agent, Oxendine allegedly said he met Ralph in the 1990s. Both of them owned roofing companies. They were not friends. Cooper said that he was a former employee of Ralph's roofing company. Court filings say prosecutors said Cooper told inconsistent stories and acknowledged to the FBI that she deleted files from her phone to avoid any involvement in the assassination attempt. Oxendine has also allegedly told the FBI that Ralph's assassination attempt, Cooper told him to deny any knowledge and avoid cooperating with authorities. One court filing said the FBI interview Cooper admitted she lied to agents out of fear of criminal consequences for involvement with the assassination of Trump. Additionally, Cooper admitted that she was guilty of assisting Ralph, whom she knew had a prohibited weapon, acquiring firearms. Ralph is not named in the initial criminal indictments against Oxendine and Cooper. Okay, so there is a broader conspiracy. Even if these people are morons, Ryan Ralph does have a ton of prior convictions, 73 to be exact. The FBI knew him. He was on an FBI wanted list. He wasn't allowed to buy a gun. The FBI had a tip about Ryan Ralph when he was living in Hawaii that he owned a gun and they refused to investigate. So the FBI knew him. They knew he wasn't allowed to possess a weapon. He went and bought a weapon through these intermediaries. Now they're being charged and exposing a broader cover-up to not speak with federal authorities. Got it? Goodness gracious. What a disaster, man. DOJ charged 2 co-conspirators who helped in the assassination attempt. Here are the charging documents. Conspired to sell and dispose of a firearm to a prohibited person. Oxley sold the firearm to Ralph at the request of Cooper, Oxley's employee at the time. Goodness gracious. Text messages show that Ralph's co-conspirators were very worried after he tried killing Trump. It doesn't appear that they knew what Ralph was planning.
What a shocker.
What did they say? FBI came by the shop.
He's protecting his friends.
Any information. Nothing happened.
Of course, nothing happened here. Nothing. He's going to protect his friends.
Do not admit to anything. There's no proof. If they check the record and they know how many guns you have bought this year, I know that I do not know what I'm doing. Do not open and admit nothing. No proof. Goodness gracious. I mean, they're not the smartest people, but then again, Ryan Ralph was sitting here trying to recruit for Ukraine. This is his website, still up. Insane. Ryan Ralph's Hawaii home after FBI conducts raid. You know, he has a Biden-Harris sticker on the back of his truck. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, this truck right here. Clearly a really rich guy, right? Look at the inside of his truck.
Wow.
Really smart, really rich guy. Right? So how is he flying back and forth to Ukraine day and night?
Exactly. How is he flying?
Who was paying for Ryan Ralph to go to Ukraine day and night and have all these Ukrainian military contacts? To even be in videos like this one for the Ukrainian Azov battalion. And there he is. Look at that, Ryan Ralph, right there in Ukrainian CIA propaganda. Let me tell you my instinct here. The U.S. military provides Ukraine with a bunch of deadly weapons. Then they smuggle them to unhinged assets that they control, right, through mind control programs, MK Ultra, whatever, whatever they do to these people to make them go psychotic and crazy and do whatever they want, right? There's literally no reason why Ryan Ralph should be a Ukraine activist. He's like just a roofing blue collar guy from the Carolinas with a bad criminal past. How is he able to fly in and out of Ukraine, in and out of a war zone with full permissions? How's he even able to do that? How does he even have the money? This costs tens of thousands of dollars, these flights.
Yeah, that's a lot of
enough money to fuel up his truck. They're paid for and operated by black ops.
That's wild.
And then these guys go haywire, or they do.
Yeah, it's just listen. It's all part of the game. It's like you have a lot of masterminds out there that are pulling strings and trying to push their narrative, and they will do everything and anything to try to get their way. It's shocking, but very true. You can't trust nobody these days. It's hard to trust anybody these days. That's crazy. Okay, let's go to the next story. Let's check this out.
It's my podium, and I let somebody use it.
It's my podium.
No. It's personal property. I loaned it to the city. I don't want anybody to say that I'm using city property. The podium that they had, it was a little country, and I said, we're not doing that. So that podium is at the rec center. The executive podium that's normally there, it's my podium, and so somebody was using it. So.
Well, it's the last time I'm going to be addressing y'all, so I know you're going to be very happy to see me go and get rid of me and my loud mouth. Disappearing too, unless somebody else takes it over. Where are you going? Traveling the country. See parts of the country I haven't seen yet. Or can you?
Say fuck you.
So, who knows? Thank you. Finally. Tracy, I want you to know that there's not been a comic artist on a Tatler staff for at least a couple of years, so you can stop. you spreading misinformation, cash out to the candidate who's not even in your candidate.
I haven't said anything about the candidates or the talent, so that's the last thing on my mind at this time.
You too.
So thank you.
He said, "Fuck you too."
That's not what we've heard. But I want to thank the council, all of y'all. Thank you for being dysfunctional. It forced me to educate myself. I wanted to be able to understand what was supposed to happen, what was happening, and address.
You almost made me choke on my water.
So I had to go to the books. I mean, I learned more from you guys than I ever did in any civics class ever. Because of you, I'm going to read this off. I have read the entire municipal code of Tarrant City multiple times. Most of the Alabama State Constitution, and oh my God, that girl is long. The handbook for mayors and councils, published by the Alabama League of Municipalities, the selected readings for the municipal officers, also from the Alabama municipalities. A bunch of Supreme Court readings, court filings, ethic publications, and in honor of Mr. Bryant, Robert's Rules of Parliamentary Procedure. Read all of that and educated myself. You too. So I just wanted to thank you. I never would have learned any of this stuff if y'all had learned to work together and work as one. So now, you won't have to deal with me. You. I know you're happy to say that. So I'm going to end with a quote from our mayor, has been made famous, and a few court filings. You.
Yo, even the mayor started laughing. I don't know what's going on in the world. It's like, what is going on? I could be her friend. You know that? She would probably be a really good friend, a good talk to have around. I wish she was here on my show. Because I'd be like, yeah, fuck everybody too. Oh my God. I'll tell you, it's crazy news. We're just gonna keep going because it continues on. So I do have a couple of that are open, so I'm just gonna go one by one. I know I'm gonna be going back to the floods again, and I'm gonna start checking out on some ice baby stuff that's going on in the country. So let's go here. Let's check out this Mexican cartel turns grocery stores into drug distribution centers. That's wild. This is Tyson De La Cruz, my good buddy Tyson De La Cruz. I appreciate him. He's an awesome dude. Go subscribe to his channel. He's like I tell you, he's a good-hearted. I have full confidence in him. I love his reporting. Now let's listen to him.
100 pounds of meth found in these boxes of cucumbers. It is the latest giant drug bust, with smugglers targeting produce being shipped to Metro Atlanta.
America, you're not going to believe what federal agents just discovered in a routine traffic stop in Georgia. An 18-wheeler packed with 30,000 pounds of fresh cucumbers heading to Atlanta grocery stores, except most of those cucumber boxes were stuffed with 700 pounds of pure methamphetamine worth $4.5 million. But here's what's going to make your blood boil. The ringleader running this operation had already been deported twice for drug trafficking, walked back across our border, and was using our food supply chain to poison American families while making millions of dollars in profit.
Oh, sorry. So this is Tyson De La Cruz. Let me hit pause here for a second and come back to me. This is going to be a wild story already, because remember that problem before they had, like, with the cucumbers, and everybody started getting sick because of cucumbers and E. coli and all this crazy shit? Makes you wonder, who's really tainting the food? Was it the cartels that were interfering with the food? And not only that, but other things too. You know, that's how they pass the drugs. They used to stuff them in these cucumbers. They'll put a little hole, they'll drill a hole down into it, and they'll fill it up with drugs in it, and then they'll cap it off and seal it, and then try to push it on into our society and have drugs inside cucumbers. It's crazy. Tyson De La Cruz, he's a cool dude. Like I said, subscribe to his channel. Pretty soon, you're gonna see him wearing something pretty cool from me. I don't know if it's gonna be this week or next week, but it's gonna be one of these days that we're gonna be surprised, and he's gonna represent my show on his show. It's a thing that we're working behind the scenes, and you're gonna see something pretty awesome in the future, near future. So let's catch on with what Tyson reports here, and we'll talk after he's done.
So we're getting new details tonight about a huge drug bust in Gainesville. Federal agents say it's all connected to a drug cartel. The amount of meth they found is one of the biggest they've ever seen in that area.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking
I
with
gotta
me.
light up.
This story has a little bit of everything. Mexican cartel infiltrating our food supply. Career.
All right, hold on, Tyson. Before we listen to this cartel stuff and craziness, we got some medicine here. We got some nice, beautiful medicine that I rolled up. It smells good. So, with that stamp of approval, we're going to go back to Tyson de la Cruz and continue listening in because it's going to be very interesting.
Criminals laughing at deportation policies and 700 pounds of pure poison that was about to hit American streets disguised as healthy vegetables. This is exactly why we need to finish the wall and secure our border once and for all. Let me break down how sophisticated this cartel operation was. DEA agents found meth tightly packed in boxes of cucumbers. In each box of roughly 40 cucumbers, there were 4 packs of methamphetamine concealed within those 4 corners of the boxes in small rectangular shapes.
We seized over 1,000 boxes containing cucumbers, and majority of those boxes contain methamphetamine concealed within the 4 corners.
They seized over 10,000 boxes containing cucumbers, and the majority of those boxes contain methamphetamine. Think about the level of organization here. This wasn't some amateur operation. This was industrial scale drug trafficking using our food distribution system. DEA officials says this type of deliberate concealment method is used by cartels to avoid law enforcement detection. The cartels are
Mexican cartel who packed full an 18-wheeler in Mexico. Then that 18-wheeler passed it through the southern border, drove up through Georgia, where on Monday it was stopped in Gainesville. And what did officials and agents find inside this truck? A lot of cucumbers and a lot of meth.
The 18-wheeler contained 30,000 pounds of cucumbers in total, but the majority of those boxes contained meth instead of just vegetables. All 30,000 pounds of cucumbers had to be thrown away because the contamination of this particular drug in this operation. And here's where the story gets absolutely infuriating. One of the 2 men arrested, Rufino Pinenta Perez, was in the country illegally after being deported not once, but twice for previous drug trafficking convictions. This career criminal had been deported in 2001 after a marijuana trafficking conviction in Arizona, then deported again in 2019 after serving a federal sentence for trafficking cocaine.
Suspects were taken down Monday afternoon. They both made their first court appearances yesterday, and they're in the custody of federal marshals in Clayton County. One of those suspects was illegal.
So let me get this straight. This guy was deported for marijuana trafficking in 2001, came back illegally, got caught trafficking cocaine, served federal time, got deported again in 2019, and was back in the country running a $4.5
How the hell is this guy
million
keeps
meth
coming back
operation
in?
in 2024. This is exactly why we need a wall and serious border security. The second suspect, Andres Gosef Jr., was also arrested and charged. Both men made their first court appearance and are in federal custody. If convicted, they face at least 10 years in prison, possibly life without parole. This case perfectly illustrates the revolving door problem at our southern border that we had under the Biden administration. Career drug traffickers get deported and just walk across the border to resume their criminal operations because we didn't have adequate border security. Federal agents believe this massive meth shipment is attributed to either the Sinaloa cartel or the Jalisco New Generation cartel. These are 2 of the most powerful and violent drug trafficking organizations in the world, and they're using our food supply chain to smuggle drugs.
Right now, investigators believe the meth came across the Mexican border, with the final destination being the Gainesville area.
We believe that this particular load is attributed to either the Sinaloa cartel
or the CJNG.
This operation was part of a Homeland Security task force established pursuant to Trump's Inauguration Day executive order to protect the American people against invasion. This shows the level of coordination required to catch these sophisticated operations. The fact that this truck made it all the way from Mexico to Gainesville just shows how these cartels are using established transportation networks to move drugs across the country. The final destination was in the Gainesville area, which would have put 700 pounds of meth directly into the Georgia community. This wasn't the first time drug smugglers have used produce as cover. Just last summer, the DEA found drugs hidden in celery shipments. The cartels are systematically targeting our food distribution system as a smuggling method. This wasn't just a random stop. The Drug Enforcement Administration got a tip that led them to this massive drug bust in Hall County. The raid was conducted by Atlanta's Homeland Security Task Force, showing the level of federal coordination required to catch these operations.
2 men were arrested. One official said was in the country illegally. The raid was conducted by Atlanta's Homeland Security Task Force.
U.S. Attorney Theodore Herzberg told reporters that with more funding outlined in the proposed mega bill before the U.S. Congress, we could see more drug busts just like this one. He said, "We do expect the administration and Congress to support this initiative. It is critically important to our community and is already showing results." The level of detail in this concealment method actually stood out to investigators. They noted that this type of deliberate concealment is specifically used by the cartel to avoid law enforcement detection, showing how these organizations are constantly adopting their methods.
Agents say it is not uncommon for traffickers to hide.
Suggests that there may be more arrests coming as authorities track down the broader network involved in this particular operation. But the level of sophistication in this case shows how these operations are evolving. The fact that they contaminated 30,000 pounds of legitimate cucumbers shows how these cartels don't care about the food supply or public health. They're willing to contaminate our food supply to move their poison into American communities. This operation required coordination between multiple federal agencies, DEA, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, and local law enforcement. The fact that it takes this level of coordination to catch one truck shows how many similar operations are possibly getting through. The $4.5 million value in this single shipment shows the massive profits driving these operations. When cartels make millions from a single truckload, they have unlimited resources to corrupt officials, buy equipment, and develop new smuggling methods. The message from law enforcement is clear. They're adapting their methods to catch these evolving cartel operations, but they need more resources and stronger border security to truly be effective. America, this cucumber bust exposes everything wrong with our border security. A previously deported drug trafficker walked back into our country and was running a $4.5 million operation using our food supply chain to distribute poison to American communities. The fact that Perez had been deported twice for drug trafficking and was back running an even bigger operation shows our deportation system is meaningless without a secure border. Career criminals just walk back across and resume their operation. The sophistication of hiding meth in 10,000 plus cucumber boxes shows these cartels are treating drug trafficking like a Fortune 500 business. They have resources, organization, and logistics to infiltrate our food distribution system on an industrial scale. 700 pounds of meth is enough to destroy thousands of American lives and families. The fact that this was heading to Metro Atlanta shows how these cartels are targeting major population centers across our country, not just border states. This bust happened because of good intelligence work and federal coordination. But how many similar trucks are getting through? When it takes a multi-agency task force to catch one operation, we're clearly not catching them all. I'll keep tracking these cartel operations infiltrating our food supply. And remember, this is why we need serious border security to stop career criminals from walking back into our country to run a multi-million-dollar drug operation. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, Tyson. That was awesome. I like when he says the like and subscribe and all that comment stuff. Just because I tend to I don't know what's going on here. Computer's acting a little crazy now. It can't handle the truth, you know. But underground tunnels, there's a lot of stuff. Hold on, let me go back as you were right here. Did you see that time they had made fake watermelons. Where they literally rolled them size and tape. Or oh my god! So then they to mimic a watermelon skin and painted them as they were. Oh my god, that's crazy! I didn't even hear about that. You see, in Texas, you guys get all the stories. I'm gonna start reporting on Texas, like for real. I'm gonna have a segment just Texas, because it'd be wild out there. Y'all be wilding. We had an 18-wheeler like that here in the next town over. Oh my god. Yeah, they're coming in, and the weird part is that how are they getting through the borders with these trucks? How is this shipment getting through the border without being properly inspected? Who's being paid off to have this drugs pretty much trafficked in here in the United States? Someone's getting paid, and it's not a one-person operation. I'm telling you right now. There's a lot of opportunistics at the border, and we're talking about agents too. Okay, money talks, bullshit walks. A lot of these people, they see the money and they'll flip their mother backwards if they had to. Because that's all they care about is the money. It's it's a wild thing. But Tyson, thank you for that nice little segment. He's a cool people. Eventually, I'm gonna get him back on here on the show, so you could see Tyson here live. As little people that I have here, because he has such a big crowd. He has like 93,000 subscribers. I'm still here. I made it to 450. So, but you know what? I did this to myself, because I always said I wanted a small crowd. And I always said that I wanted to have my channel, but low numbers. If you go back, you hear me saying it. And, I manifested, I so happened to keep my channel really quiet and not many people. Chloe has all the attention. I'm telling you, she's loving it. But but imagine if things would have been opposite and I was very popular, and it would have been hard for you to get my attention with the comments going like too fast. It's hard for me to see as it is now. Imagine tons of people just talking in the chat. It's hard to, it's not easy, but he's doing really good. I know I give him my blessing pretty much. I knew he's going to be successful. I know him for like over a year now. It's going to be like almost a year and a half. And I stumbled upon him, and I said what I said on his shows and stuff like that, and we're talking about in the chat, not on his show, because I've never been live on his show, and I don't need to be on his show live on his show. He could be live here, that's fine, but I'm not in the business to being on like other people's shows like that. It's just he has a thing going, and I like what he's doing. I really do. I like that he's focused. He's paying attention. He's doing good. It's a good thing. I tell you, I have good. His future is very bright. If he stays the course, he's gonna be fine. Just be careful with these gangs and these Mexicans, because when you start talking about their shit and stuff, they start putting hits on people, and it just is what it is, because that's how they are. I already know, because I can feel the energy, because they do watch YouTube. These cartels and everybody like in Mexico, they watch a lot of YouTube. And they get a lot of information from what's going on here, and they know what's up, and they watch every day. And that's the problem with technology now, is because information can be passed like instantly. You know, when we were growing up, Chloe, it wasn't like this. the way we used to communicate was through letters and stamps. You know, put you write a letter to. I remember my mom. She used to write a letter to my grandmother, which is her mom, and then she would kiss the letter and then put the letter in the envelope, seal it, put the stamp, and take it to the post office. You know, to the box and have the letter sent out. And I remember those days. Those were really cool. I remember the rotary phone. That I used to hate that fucking phone. As a kid, I was like, you couldn't do nothing with it because all you have to do, you're doing this the whole time. I remember my mom like really pulling that phone like to get it like connected. It was just so fucking weird. Like we grew up a different time. These kids today, the ones that are being born now, and they have all this technology. Like my niece she just turned 4, right? So she has everything she wants pretty much. She's not a brat or anything like that. I think I spoil her, but I don't spoil her as much. Like her father doesn't do much for her anyways, and I just come in and just use my energy to get her what she needs. What I want her to communicate with me, like just passing me the message like through a signal from her mind to mine, and I get what she needs. I put it on a list, and then I send it out to her. You know, that's another thing that I'm doing tonight. I'm actually getting some stuff from the Prime Day, and I'm gonna be sending it off to her, and she'll start getting like stuff. Like if I put the order in tonight, she'll get it like either tomorrow or on Friday. She definitely will get it Friday. But I like to give my niece stuff, you know, because I want her to have what I didn't and what my sister didn't have. And that's called attention, especially from a relative like an uncle or aunt. Like my uncles and my aunts weren't really attentive to me. It was like it's just after, you know, it was like I was just there, you know. It's like no, not much attention was put on us, and I don't want my niece to feel like I don't care about her. Because, be honest with you, I care about her more than probably any one of you that's watching me. Oh, I'm sorry, I do care about you, but it's not going to be as much as her. So she's number one. You guys, you know, fall back. But the little one, the little mini me, she's gonna be very psychic. I already know. She's already like she's special. So gonna make sure she gets what she needs and what she and I'm not my sister was like because I sent her a message. She's like, look, I'm gonna be sending her some packages soon, so I'll let you know when I send them out. And she's like, you want me to do you a list of what she needs? I go, nah, I got this because I already know what she needs. I don't need for you to tell me what she needs. Like I feel the energy, so I can get her exactly tailored what she needs to be programmed by me. You know, this is like my subliminal programming to my little niece is sending these care packages and you know, manipulating her mind in a positive way, okay, with certain things that is going to guide her to better and better like things in the future. So better, bigger, you know, she's going to have a great life. I want her to have a great life and be very successful. Yo, Josie, what's up? What's up, Albie? Hope y'all doing good. Yeah, so yeah, my niece, I do, you know, when she gets older, when she gets much older, she'll run into these videos and she'll see me and you know reminisce if I'm not around, if I'm not alive. Then she has 700 videos I'm at 702. I think this one that I'm recording now, that I'm live now, it's on the 700 mark. 702 actually. So we passed the 700. And it's weird that I didn't realize, but my 700 video was on 7.7. I didn't even realize it. But yeah, my 700 video fell on 7/7, July 7th at 7, because I started the show at 7. A lot of sevens. That was so cool. That was unintentional. It just happens to work out that way, but she'll have a whole catalog to watch and lots and lots and lots of hours. She's like, damn, my uncle's dead, but he's super alive. He's super alive in these videos. Holy shit. Damn, he left me like thousands of hours to watch. Years and years of videos. She's gonna go crazy watching me. She's like, oh my god, let me just watch my uncle. Oh man. Yeah, so yeah, it's cool. It's fun, it's like she's the mini me, she's been compared to me. Like my mom says it, my sister says it. She's like, that's you right there. That's a mini you. And my mom's like, yep, just like you. Like how, like my sister's like, no, you. It's like she acts like you, she's behaving like you, she's doing like things that you used to do. Like I was like, oh Lord. And she's a little girl, she's lucky. She's lucky. She's getting all like, she's being well taken care of, and I get her what she needs, and I always send her a dress every single time. I always send her because she likes to dress up like a princess. So I send her like these dresses, and they look so cute on her, and they fit her well every single time I get it for her. She's like, oh my god, you don't understand. She loves when you send her dresses, and she's always dressing up. I was like, that's good. That's great, because I got a lot more on my plate. I'm going to make this little girl into Miss Universe. You're like, what? I'm going to put her in the pageants. Remember those, what was that show called? With the little girls, damn, I forgot the name of it. Something with tiaras. I don't know, something tiaras. If you can help me out, I appreciate it in the chat. 118, Josie. Holy shit! Like that's too hot. And it's a dry heat. So, but still, that's too hot. No, thank you. I keep it about 60 something here in my room. It was warm out here today. It was in the 90s, but nah, I'm good. I like to stay in the cool weather and keep it cool. But yeah. So I gotta get that shopping stuff out the way for her, and send her out her dress, and she's gonna love it. I know. She's gonna be so excited, because like my sister doesn't even know. It's like a mystery box. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to tell my sister everything every single time. Like that's not fun. That's like cheating. That's like peeking at your Christmas gift, like, and you're not supposed to. And it's like 2 weeks away from Christmas, and you're already sneaking in and looking at your gift. like no. So they will be both surprised when they open it and see what they get. Like that's how it's gonna be from now on. I like to use my energy and feel her out, and get what she needs based on energy. Like I don't need to talk to my sister or my mom or anybody. about that little girl. That little girl radiates so much energy that she's like, holy shit, that's great. I'm hoping, great things for her. And I'm gonna set her up like she's gonna be taken care of. She's gonna be fine. Yeah, because I could see her like when she graduates high school, and she's like really really good in school, and she selects which college she wants to go to and stuff. She don't have to worry because she'll have a vehicle for college and stuff. So and a new car, not like a used, but I'm not gonna get her like a banging car, but it'll be something like pretty nice, like comfortable, 4-cylinder, because you don't want to spend too much on gas, and it's a simple starter up car. Yeah, she'll start off with a used car, probably like for high school. I could see her going to school, and probably like when she turns like 16, 17, I would say 17, maybe, depends on the situation and how she matures. And I believe she'll be very mature, and she'll be very responsible. And it's for her to go to school and come back home, or she wants to go grab something to eat and then come back home. That's what it's going to be used for. But that's not for me to monitor, because that's going to be my sister. That's her headache, not mine. But I got some more news to go through, so let's continue. That one, the F-bomb one, that was so funny. She was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. She told the mayor, and the mayor was laughing. The mayor was laughing. He couldn't hold it back. He just started laughing. Yeah. She won the night with that one. You guys got to go back and watch it. It was fun. It was something. Oh man. Okay, let's go to the next story here that I have. I'm just gonna follow the line. So this next story is back to Austin. Firefighters union wants chief fired over delayed deployment. So I told you I was gonna go with Texas. I was gonna come with some Texas news. It's like the Texas time. It's Texas time. Back to the floods.
To live now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. Thank you so much for joining us. Austin, Texas Fire Chief Joel Baker is facing mounting criticism from the city's firefighter union after accusations that they delayed sending specialized rescue crews to assist in the deadly flooding in Kirk County, Texas. For more on this, let's go on to our Fox 7 team with this report.
Oh boy.
The Austin fire chief is under fire, not for what he did, but for what the firefighters union says he didn't do.
We have the resources, we have the training, we have the personnel, and we refuse to go because of a standing order. Do not even ask.
The union president says Chief Baker held back trained crews during last week's deadly floods, even though they were ready to respond.
I started sending pictures with their names by them. I said, Chief, open these up and zoom in on these little faces. 8 to 10 years old. We need to do something. No response. No deployment.
In response to these allegations, Chief Baker sent Fox 7 Austin a statement saying the fire department must, quote, prioritize having sufficient resources in our own community, given the risk for a catastrophic flooding in our immediate area.
What a piece of shit.
He added that 6 more crew members were deployed to help Texas Task Force 1 with search and rescue efforts. Nix claims this isn't the first time AFD refused to help. They say it happened last year, too, and that crews were afraid to speak up.
Our people are in so much fear of retaliation that that's exactly what they do. And some of them are regretting that.
Nix says Austin firefighters have specialized training and equipment, and had they deployed days sooner, some of the victims might still be alive.
I know some of those girls could have been survived if we had had the best boat crew the day before on scene. I know it. I know it in my heart. And the fact that we didn't do it and we let them down is just
God, a
It's
lot of people
unconscionable.
died, man.
The union is now considering a no confidence vote for Chief Baker, something he doesn't take lightly. John High, Fox 7 Austin News.
Yeah, he
All
looks
right,
like an
thank you so much
asshole.
for that. And let's bring in
No,
right
I'm
now
just saying, he
Austin
looks like an asshole.
Firefighters Association President Bob Nix. Thanks so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And of course, there was a no confidence vote out there that passed.
Fucking
And
Austin,
you feel the
Texas,
actions
man.
in your mind warrants
kidding me?
Baker's removal from that post?
I would never visit Austin, Texas.
Absolutely. It's a absolute failure to lead, and that failure of leadership led to, I believe, in my 37.5 years experience, unnecessary loss of life.
Of course, and there is a little bit of pushback, of course, from the police chief saying he will not step down. I do want to read out some of what they said about what happened over the weekend, talking about this in response, saying the first request for aid that was communicated to the Austin Fire Department leadership came on July the 4th, the same day that we deployed. Also saying they evaluate deployment requests on a case-by-case basis to ensure we can meet needs and requesting agency without compromising staffing and resources in our city. In your eyes, what exactly happened and what would have been a best-case scenario for a response from the Austin Fire Department?
It's so disgraceful. I mean, what you just showed me in the screen is lie upon lie upon lie. The city of Austin is a very apt public information team, and it's just terrible that they would not be accountable to the community like they should be. I mean, we balance resources all the time under normal circumstances. The request comes in, the chief never even knows about it. We have commitments with the state to deploy, and so we would say yes, and we would go every time. So, and our special operations division is one of the best in the nation. They balance those resources. We always put Austin first. We always put the local surrounding community first. But we're big enough we can do both. We had small departments sending 10 people. We had people from Mexico coming in to this. We had people from Oklahoma City. All the major departments in Texas went, except for us. And I want to mention this really quick. We are specialized in Austin and San Antonio, with the best boat crews maybe in the nation for the Hill Country response. And we were not allowed to go.
And you mentioned some of those statements saying they were requested on July 4th. They deployed on July 4th. You say that they responded, reached out to the Austin Fire Department. Did you reach out to Chief Baker directly before that?
Yes, I texted him. I found out about it late. I didn't find out about it till about 6 o'clock on the 4th. And I just assumed we were sending people. And I started texting him thinking it was a rumor that we didn't. He hasn't responded to me this date. And, you know, like you said, nieces. I said, Chief, you got to do something. No response, nothing. How we finally sent some the next day after really all of the viable rescues were over was a person decided to break orders. They went to somebody they knew on the command staff and advocated that we do something. That's when he finally sent 3 people only. There were Black Hawk helicopters that were grounded with pilots. There was no rescue swimmers, so that was helpful. But it was after most of the loss of life had already occurred.
Yeah, and it happened all so quickly in Kirk County and other locations. I also want to talk about the mayor of Austin because they posted this, Mayor Watson, on social media talking about very disappointed in some of your comments, saying that they asked Chief Kidd, one of the Texas emergency management operators, he was getting Austin, and if there was anything else he needed, he characterized Austin's response as above and beyond. Do you disagree with going above and beyond? Do you disagree with what the mayor said there?
Yeah, the mayor is very disgusting. He wouldn't even be the mayor if it wasn't for us. We got him elected, no doubt about it. He was going to lose the runoff. He's a political animal. He's trying to protect his people, but it's just ridiculous what he's saying.
All right, and I want to ask, because it appears that you haven't had any communication with the chief or the Austin fire chief as of yet. If you did have a chance to speak to him, what would you say?
I don't know. It's going to be pretty frosty, but I am meeting with him on Friday and the assistant city manager to have some sort of talk on budget, see how that goes. That meeting will be about 2 hours before the no confidence vote results come out. And I got to tell you, we are. This goes against our self-interest to do a vote no confidence. I'm not big on vote no confidence, never have been, because it seemed whiny to the public. But we're not. This goes against our self-interest to do this. We want to make sure the truth sees the light of day, regardless of what the mayor wants, regardless of what the city manager wants, regardless of what the chiefs want. This guy's got to go. He is going to be a follower with no leaders. And he's incompetent and must go.
You mentioned the budget part, and that was a component, the concern there over that $800,000, the reimbursement from the state. Is there anything that you're doing, anything that you can do in terms of that? Maybe not right now at the moment, but in the past or in the future?
I'm sorry, restate the nature of your question.
The $800,000, the component of the budget concerns potentially on your part about why they didn't necessarily deploy. Is there anything you can do in terms of that dollar amount to get Austin Fire reimbursed?
Well, it's a lie. So what happened is the money is actually already in the city of Austin. They just didn't transfer to the fire department. So this is a cash flow issue. People died because of a cash flow issue, not because there wasn't money to do it, not for any other reason. It's because they were afraid that the cash wouldn't come in soon enough for the end of the fiscal year. I met with Chief Baker and the assistant city manager of Austin, 10 to 14 days before them, and explained to them, you take money out of the emergency reserve fund, you pay it then, and you pay it back when it comes in. But to savings of lives because of a cash flow issue is even worse than doing it because of a budget issue. It's crazy.
You also mentioned the fact that this wasn't isolated directly to Kerr County. There were other counties, including in Travis County, where there were unfortunately people that perished. Is it fair, though, to say that they should be focused on Austin? The department is wide enough and big enough that they can send resources, but is the focus for Austin Fire, should it be a priority in Travis? And were you concerned last week of the flooding in Travis County?
Absolutely. I was on the special operations team, Swiftwater Rescue, one of the first ones ever trained in the department. I got a Medal of Valor in Swiftwater Rescue. We take care of Austin first. Were there deaths in Austin or in floods? Yes, they were. Was it because you didn't have? Did that happen because of the result of not having highly trained personnel with equipment show up quickly? Absolutely not. We showed up every time. We do everything we can. You can't save everybody, but we have the equipment and expertise to be there as quickly as possible, give the citizens that. We also protect our surrounding area very, very well. We can do both. We've done both for over a decade. This is not about anything but, they're just throwing up smoke. This is about nothing but them trying to cover their butts because they screwed up. And rather than being honorable and just admitting it and be accountable, they're making up a series of lies after lies after lies. And you know who knows it's all lies? The firefighters. They're seeing their leader lie in public. And they're not fooling anybody.
And can I ask you about some of what's going on in Kerr County? Because we talk about the deployment and the concerns you had over being denied or delaying some of the deployment. You mentioned those 3 rescues that are on the ground. There's also 2 crews, 8 total fire personnel. They deployed on Saturday with an AFD boat assigned to assist Travis County Emergency Service. Can you talk about any of the efforts being made right now in Kerr County? Any stories of Austin Fire rescuing people, helping people out in that area?
Well, the rescues this is recovery mode. This is making sure that those mommies and daddies can maybe have an open casket funeral.
Recovery mode.
Okay, the people that were deployed from Austin on Saturday and Sunday was because of the pressure campaign we put on. Deployments are now back on. So that means in the future, the deployment comes in, we go, because of the pressure we put on. The Austin firefighters stand up to make sure the people in this area are protected, regardless of the politicians that are squawking that something else happened. It's just a series of bold-faced lies.
I'm in the far left.
Very good, Bob.
Wait a
Thank
minute.
you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. I appreciate your perspective, as always, on a very tragic situation in Central Texas.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, great conversation, as always, as controversy in Austin after the union accusing the chief of denying resources to that area in Kerr County in Texas. I do want to put up just this live picture one more time. As you can see, the water has receded very significantly. Over 100 people tragically killed. Over 160 still missing at this time. And I do want to reiterate some of the comments from the fire chief, as we did reach out to him today in response to some of these accusations, these claims. And he sent us this,
I love that
showcasing
Chloe
some of what
make
they did
accountability
provide
great
in
again. I
support,
have the shirt there.
saying the first request for aid that was communicated to AFD leadership came on July the 4th, the same day
One of
we
my favorite
deployed.
shirts.
Austin Fire Department also evaluates deployment requests on a case-by-case basis to ensure we can meet the needs of the requesting agency without compromising staffing and resources in our city, as they are some of the most specialized units there in the Texas Hill
All right,
Country
Lizzie.
for
Yeah.
water rescue. So the no confidence vote moving
It's
through
been
the
pretty weird
union,
here
it
too.
will continue on.
But enjoy your
Eventually,
time
a
with your
meeting
mom.
between those two leaders coming up this weekend. But you also heard from the mayor of Austin talking about this, saying that, unlike Bob, I actually talked to Chief Nim Kidd, the chief of the Texas Division of Emergency
I hate
Management,
when
over the
these put
weekend.
these
In one of
videos
our
too
talks, I
early.
asked Chief Kidd if he was
Can't even
getting
see what's
all
behind
he
it.
needed from Austin, if there was anything else he needed. He characterized Austin's response.
Okay, well, it's gonna cut off there. I hate when they do that. You see, like all the videos, the choices to pick, like we're trying to read the statement behind it, and we can't because you're blocking all these damn videos. Like, it is what it is. You know, it's wild times. But I do have a couple of videos for us to watch. We're gonna take a break from the craziness before we jump back into the craziness. Okay, so let me see which direction. Well, let's take a look at this one. This shouldn't take too long. Let me see, how long is it? Damn it, it's a little long. We could shorten it. Let me see. It's actually no. This is a tornado warning has been issued for DC, Maryland, this evening. There's a potential for tornado activity by the White House. Will the White House get hit by a tornado? That would be a sign from freaking heavens that what he did yesterday was not right, and the Jesus is going to be so mad. The baby Jesus is going to be like, "Oh, you see this, and now you lied. Now this is what's coming to you, tornado." Oh no, the finger of God. That's what they call tornadoes. They call tornadoes the finger of God because it's like everything that it touches is taking it back, you know? It's taking it back. And let's check out this the weather here.
A little bit of a breaking news here for you. Tornado warning just issued for the District of Columbia, heading up into portions of Prince George's, kind of right on the Prince George's and Maryland border.
Is it coming this way
That
to
red
me?
box right there. We just saw it pop up here on our storm tracker radar. So that's
There's a
downtown
tornado.
DC, getting right up towards the Prince George's County, DC,
Oh
Montgomery
shit,
County,
that
kind of
water
that
is heavy.
tri-county
Holy
area there
shit.
is where this tornado warning is located. So a little bit of what
I mean,
we call
we're
a
gonna get
kink in the line
rain
there.
tonight.
Two
I don't
cells
think we
kind
can
of
get
combining,
tornadic.
leading to a little bit of rotation. That's going to be working its way up towards the
But
Beltway
Jersey's
here
gonna get it. South
very,
Jersey.
very shortly. So that is what we're watching here for you right here at Fox 5. Caitlin's going to be joining me in just a moment. She's going to pull up exactly when that warning goes into, likely for the next 15 to 20 minutes at least, as that cell continues to work its way northward across the district. So there you go. This is radar indicated rotation. Again, as these storms continue to push their way right across DC. We've seen camera after camera of heavy, heavy rain around the district right now. And certainly.
Okay, and that was the news for that tornado warning, because I'm not going to watch the whole segment on the weather. Like, come on. We got other things to watch. It's like if you guys are in Washington, D.C., if you hear like a train sounding like, and you don't have trains in your area, well, that's a tornado. Just get underneath your bed and pray to the baby Jesus that you make it out alive. You know, usually they tell you go to the lowest level on your floor, into a room that has no windows, and the center of the home is the best place to be at, because like a tornado strong tornado, if it wants, it'll take your home, and it'll take you with the home too. Don't get it twisted. Now let's go to other news. Let's get an update here on this alligator Alcatraz.
Tonight, the state still has not released the number of people being detained at the so-called alligator Alcatraz. But for the first time ever, we're hearing from several men who are being held inside the facility.
NBC6 Politics reporter Hassel Vela live right now with what inmates are reporting this evening. Hassel.
Liamse Izquierdo is a self-described Cuban urban artist, says he's here legally, is a permanent resident, but last week he was arrested for a violent incident, and tonight he talks to us from inside that detention center.
Soy Liamse la figura.
Liamse Izquierdo on the phone describing what it's like inside the so-called alligator Alcatraz. Says
No hay agua para uno bañarse.
no water to bathe, he says. It's been 4 days since he showered. 400 people, he believes, are inside the facility.
Te dan comida una sola al día, comida que ha traído hasta gusano.
Only gets fed once a day, he says, and some of the food had worms. Detention center lights are on 24/7.
Los mosquitos parecen elefantes.
The mosquitoes, he says, are the size of elephants.
Él es residente permanente, sí.
Izquierdo's partner, Katia, says.
No, he don't look permanent. You need to send his ass back where he came from.
Everglades facility.
We don't need that here.
English?
No. Here is Izquierdo in bond court last Thursday.
We're charged with aggravated assault with deadly weapon and battery.
The police report
no.
says it all has
That's
to do with
violation.
a violent dispute with a tow company worker who was trying to repossess a jet ski. Now back to the call.
No te sacan afuera aunque sea un minuto a coger aire.
Complaints they're not allowed to go outside and the tents are freezing.
No creo que
There's no he's dead. Wait a minute. Let me
And the tents are freezing.
No creo que
like where he said the tents. He did not say that though. I know Spanish, so don't like Channel 6 down in South Florida is a piece of shit. That's NBC6, and they like to gaslight the people a lot. But this guy, what he said in Spanish, is not what the news reporter is reporting.
Now back to the call.
No te sacan afuera aunque sea un minuto a coger aire.
He said they don't take you outside for not even a minute to get air. That's what he said there. I have family. I have my stepfather's Cuban. My step grandmother's Cuban. My uncle is Cuban. I have Cuban family. So I hear this. I know what this guy is talking. I know how Cubans speak, because when I grew up in South Florida. Okay. I grew up in Hialeah. Okay. Go check in your maps. It's like Hialeah. How you spell that? Hialeah. And it's kind of like Little Cuba. Okay. A lot of Cubans live in Hialeah. You get some Dominicans, some very rare. You get some gringos out there. You get the white people and some Puerto Ricans, but the majority dominant is Cubans. Okay, I went to school in Hialeah, and I was like less than the 1% of Puerto Ricans that graduated from that type of Cuban environment, heavily Cuban environment. And it was cool because my friends, we weren't Cubans. We're one was Dominican, the other one I was Puerto Rican, another one was from where the fuck was he from? I forgot where Miguel was from. You know, so we had like Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Miguel. I forgot where Miguel was from. Like where I know he's from like Central America. Some I don't know if it's like Ecuador or one of those places. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But Yeah, but we had Cuban friends. But he had like left. But I knew a lot of Cubans, like people. I used to play against them all the time, like like football, and when I used to go bowling and golf, and I used to play against the. I was like, here comes, and I was the captain of my team. You know, especially my golf team and my bowling team. Oh yeah, and I had a couple of cool Cuban guys that were on my team. One looked like he was like the Incredible Hulk. Like if you like the bulkiness and the he was a football player. He was like he played linebacker. Golf team. I could use you because he was very strong, right? And I kind of like taught him how to swing the golf club and how to position himself and don't hack at the ball. Just flow with the motion and just keep it steady. That motion. Just don't try to hit that ball and try to like home run that ball. Like no, it's all about motion and repeating that motion and let your hips be the power to drive the ball, not your arms. So I taught him a lot of the golf, and he did pretty good. He wasn't as good as me, but he did really good. You know, he was a very big help. I felt like he was more like a bodyguard than anything. I thought he was like the bodyguard because or something. I don't know. I just question it. That's all, because at that age and that big, and I was like, this guy, he looks like a fucking real fucking football player. Like, he was like the biggest guy in our group. So other teams never talked shit about us. Like when we played, like they were very respectful because we had our bodyguard. He like the big gorilla. And I was a fucking chimpanzee. It was like, holy shit, that's how big he was. Yes, like King Kong, like motherfucker. I had good times playing golf. Oh my god, I loved it. But back to the story here. Like he was saying, they don't let him out for a minute to get any air. Okay, now let's continue listening to him so we could break it down. I could break it down to you guys.
Outside, and the tent.
He complains that he's not allowed to go outside, and that's not what he said. He's complaining that they don't let him out for not even a minute, right? But say exactly what he's saying. Don't put words. That's NBC like changing it up. Okay, so let's go back and listen.
Tents are freezing.
No creo que
You hear what he said at the end? Let me play it one more time. I'm not gonna interrupt it, and then when the reporter stops talking, then I'm gonna talk.
No te sacan afuera aunque sea un minuto con el aire.
Complains they're not allowed to go outside and the tents are freezing.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. I'm sorry. I'm Puerto Rican. I speak Spanish. Like I said, I have family members that are Cuban. I understand how this guy speaks. I went to a Cuban high school. I had a lot of Cuban friends that I known and a lot of Cuban friends that I like. It's I went to prom. My prom like date. I had two of them, and they were both Cubans. Well, no, one was Dominican, the other one was Cuban. I went with two girls to prom. That was wild. I have pictures to prove it too. That's wild. And I have it here. I just it's in the other room. But he didn't say nothing about it was freezing in there. He didn't say that. That's not what he said. He put words into his mouth, into his what you were saying. That's why be careful with media and the Spanish. Like when they translate, make sure they translate properly. Like that's not what he said. And the reporter to it, and then I'm gonna stop it, and then I'm gonna continue commenting on it because that's not what he said. So let's do it one more time here.
No te
Hold on. Let me make it so you guys can see it too. So do they have let me see if they have caption. Okay.
Now back to the call.
no te sacan afuera aunque sea un minuto a coger aire.
Complaints they're not allowed to go outside and the tents are freezing.
He never said the tents were freezing. He never said the tents were freezing. That's a lie. He did not say that. He did not say that. He just said they don't let them out for a minute to get fresh air. That's what he said. And the reporter's like, yeah. And he's saying the tents are freezing. What? Man. Yeah. It's funny how they can report from within, right? Like if they're in such deplorable conditions, right? How are they talking on a phone to the media? How did they even get the phone number to the media? Who communicated with who to talk about this to the media? There's a lot of questions to be answered, and nobody's asking the questions down there in South Florida. Or freezing. He did not say that. The reporter is feeling like talking for this dude because he did not say any of that. That's so wild. That you see that right there, that should be tagged fake news. That should be tagged fake news. That should be tagged by YouTube for translating and pushing an agenda. Like, not good. Not good. I'm sorry. I'm bilingual, so I could point that out. Let's continue with this mess. His girl. I mean, you be the judge, right? I mean, let me take out the captions. Let me take a good look at this broad. What is that? What is that lips? Why so much filler? Why are you plumping your lips? Like, it looks horrible. Oh my goodness. Like, it looks like a pig snot. Like, you know how the pigs, like how they have the snot? Like, that's what it looks like. Girl, guy, whatever you are, I don't know, because that chin, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's let's listen, and we got like about a minute left on this or less.
Tener a personas en esas condiciones.
Izquierdo's girlfriend says these are
Yeah,
not
it's female.
humane conditions.
Ugly one too.
Also on the call, we heard from 3 other guys who had similar complaints. One, a Colombian national, says he's been there 3 days without his medicine. We've reached out to ICE, but a spokesperson says they cannot talk about detainees who are not in one of their facilities. Remember, the Everglades Detention Center is run by the state, but the state has not responded to our request for information. Reporting from the newsroom, NBC 6 News.
All right.
The state is there to work. They're not there to be answering questions and shit right now. Like, they want people to stop, drop, and roll for the media. And, right now it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Coming in from Jason A.
I will get to some serious stuff in a second. But there was just a lot of other weird stuff that happened today that I thought I might begin our conversation with.
We saw this earlier.
Including,
today
felt just a little bit different than every other day. If you felt like you had not enough time to get around and do whatever it is that you did today, well, guess what? You are not incorrect. because a very strange scientific reason means that today, July the 9th, is the shortest day in the history of the world.
What?
Apparently, it is 1 nanosecond shorter
Oh my god, I felt like the
than the
Flash.
average day because of the rotation of the Earth and apparently the fact that the planet is getting ever so slightly smaller. Again, the explanation that comes here via an American news website, I think this one, yeah. Earth is expected to complete a full rotation on the 9th of July at roughly 1.3 milliseconds less than the standard 86,400 seconds that define a 24-hour day. With that time difference, imperceptible to humans, it does represent a broader pattern that has left scientists scratching their heads for years. After thousands of years of the Earth slowing down, Earth has been spinning faster in recent years, constantly breaking records for its shortest days. Now, again, if you felt like today just was a millisecond fast rotation and it getting smaller, I told you.
Damn, I almost fell down today. Can I blame it on that?
Figurative and symbolically, and suddenly you don't have to do it anymore because you've really reduced it into something that is undefinable. The scriptures don't do that. The scriptures define things very specifically and very exactly. And so if we view these passages that we've looked at, and even here in Revelation 3:10, the context is the promise of escape, preceded by both Jesus' revelation, where 7 times we find him in chapter 7, he says that the times are going to be the great tribulation. So chapters 4 through 19 are about the great tribulation. In fact, a time that Jesus said would be unequaled from the beginning of the world. After he said that, if those days had not been cut short, no one would. Those days short, no one survived. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened.
Let's bring in Michio Kaku, who's a professor of theoretical physics at the City University of New York. Professor, good morning. Thank you.
Morning. Glad to be on.
What?
The script is, oh my God, the core of the earth is backward. The stability of what you walk on is at stake. Now, this report comes not from Hollywood. It comes from reputable scientists at Beijing University that analyze echoes. When an earthquake takes place, shock waves go reverberating around the inside of the earth. And by analyzing these echoes with computers, you can recreate a model of the inside of the earth. And sure enough, the core seems to be about to spin backwards.
What if I told you Earth is about to spin faster than usual this August and July? Could we actually lose time and not even notice? This isn't a sci-fi movie plot. Scientists have confirmed that Earth's rotation will speed up on certain days in July and August this year. But what does that actually mean for our clocks, our tech, or even our sleep cycles? At first glance, it sounds normal, but the details totally unexpected. Hello viewers, I'm Kavya Khandelwal and you are watching The Edge. Normally, Earth takes about 24 hours to complete one full rotation, which is what gives us day and night. But here's the interesting part. It's never a perfect 24 hours. Our planet changes slightly all the time. It wobbles, slows down, or speeds up based on natural forces. Now, during this July and August, scientists are seeing Earth spin milliseconds faster than usual, according to atomic clock readings, which are accurate to the tiniest fraction of second. Days between July 17 and August 16 could be isn't the first time. In 2020, Earth recorded its shortest day ever, 1.46 milliseconds shorter than average. It may sound small, but over time, these milliseconds add up. And that's where things start to get complicated. If Earth's rotation keeps speeding up, we might have to do something that's never been done before. Subtract time from the world clock. This is called a negative leap second, essentially deleting a second to keep our digital clocks in sync with Earth's actual rotation. We have added leap seconds in the past when the Earth was slowing
That's why
down,
all the
but
timing is off.
subtracting one, that's new territory. And it could get messy,
Timing is always
especially for
off.
global tech systems. Think about it. Servers, GPS satellites, financial markets, all of them run on ultra precise time. A missing second could throw everything off from international transactions to navigation systems. Even Meta has proved this. Their engineers say that leap seconds added or removed can cause massive disruptions to systems that expect time to move forward, not skip. So, what's actually causing Earth to speed up? Turns out it's combination of natural forces. First, melting glaciers. When ice caps melt, the mass distribution on Earth changes. Imagine a figure skater pulling in their arms, they spin faster. Earth works the same way. Second is earthquakes and movements in the core. Shifts in Earth's molten core and seismic activity can affect how Mars's vibration speeds. Third, atomic pressure, ocean currents, and wind patterns. These constantly push and pull on the planet, causing subtle changes in its spin. All of this creates a kind of planetary dance, a chaotic, beautiful, and unpredictable system where everything affects everything. But here's the problem. Even though we know it's happening, we don't fully understand why. And without clear answers, scientists are being extra cautious. And here's the twist. By the measure of speed up, there are no immediate consequences. It's just a global tech glitch over millisecond. There's debate within the scientist community. Some say we should ditch leap seconds altogether and let atomic time drift away from Earth time. Others say we need better monitoring and
Like
new
time is
rules.
never
So
gonna
for
be
now,
accurate.
we are just watching the clock tick slightly faster. To wrap it up, Earth is moving faster than we realize, but the changes we are enough to affect our timekeeping. If the trend continues, we may have to delete a second from the world clock, which could cause serious issues for tech systems. The causes
Aliens do
everything
that.
from melting glaciers to deep earth movements, and we still don't fully get it. It's a weird reminder that even something as solid as 24 hours in a day isn't guaranteed.
Wow, Jason A. Good upload, man. That was pretty good. Um tell you right now, I've been feeling a little lightheaded right now. I feel like the earth is moving a little bit too fast. That's why I'm like here in the universe here because it's going a little bit too fast. I'm about to be back to the planet I was yesterday. Um, yeah, how does that affect humanity and how does it affect the brain waves with this rotation much faster? Because a millisecond it actually does matter big time, and they're if they're reporting on it, it's important, you know. But a lot of news won't even pick up on it, and if they do, they're just gonna blow it out of proportion. And it should be because a lot of the calendars are just off. We're just really off in time. Like when they were trying to read the Mayan calendar, like they're off their timing and so forth. And this is truly off because the rotation and of the planet during that time and the way they made this calendar is set for the future, but it was set at a certain time frame, and I just feel like um that calendar is still active. I did a drawing in high school of the Mayan calendar. It was really hard. It took me months to do, but I did a great job. I did such a great job that a fucking teacher took my painting. She's like, "I want that painting." I was like, "That's my painting." She's like, "But can I please have it?" I was like, "I worked very hard on that." She's like, "I know you got an A+ on it, and I love it." I was like, "Okay, you can have it." She's like, "I'm gonna frame it. Trust me." I was like, "All right, I believe." Because I did it really cool. It came out really nice. And back then we didn't have cameras. We didn't have cell phones, you know? During that time we didn't have cell phones. We couldn't take no pictures or put it on like no, we didn't have that. So the only thing we have is memory, and now it's recorded. So it'll live on the story here on My Mind Over Your Matter. But I think that calendar is still active, and there's still things to come that's gonna really shock this world. Like, are you ready? I'm ready for the asteroid. I'm telling you, I'm waiting for it. It might not happen when I'm alive, but it's coming. And it's going to shock humanity and put humanity back into a loving order. Because right now, it's nothing but chaos and wildness all over the place. Yeah, you don't believe me? I'll show you. Oh, shit. Rick comes with receipts. Yeah, here. Like Detroit, Michigan. Let me set it up. So this was a takeover that happened out there. This is why I'm rooting for the asteroid.
Chaos on Detroit's west side. Hundreds of people getting together on the streets, lighting off fireworks, doing donuts, harassing bus drivers. It all ends with a car set on fire. Good evening, everybody. I'm Roop Raj.
And I'm Mimi Lang. This all happened early Saturday morning, and it is the second time in 2 weeks a rowdy crowd paralyzed a Detroit neighborhood. Fox News' Jessica Dupnack joining us live with more. Jess, that had to be a frightening scene for some out there.
Yeah, Amy and Rue, we've been covering these street takeovers for several years. That's definitely not new here in the city of Detroit. It kind of ebbs and flows, but this one, it was pretty bad. We're talking about 200 people really paralyzing a Detroit neighborhood for about an hour and a half. This time they had fireworks. They were shooting them off at cars. Even when Detroit Fire came, they were shooting at those firefighters, and they also jumped on DDOT buses. This was absolute chaos, and a lot of it was caught on video. Take a look.
What the fuck is this?
Chaotic. It was almost riot level. They were shooting fireworks at cars, at passersby. They were threatening to shoot people.
A street takeover on Detroit's west side for an hour and a half. Detroit police say about 200 people packed the intersection of 7 Mile and Myers.
Okay, it's fire.
It's crazy to me that no one got killed. I mean, truly, look at what was going on.
Definitely. Alcohol and guns don't ever mix.
Stephen Erder lives a couple houses down from where it happened around 3 a.m. Sunday.
A group of people were jumping on top of the white Challenger that
Look
was
at
set
this.
on fire. And then a group of people started to jump on the bus, and then they started shooting fireworks at the bus, throwing M80s at the bus.
3 people were arrested when Detroit police eventually assembled and responded.
3 people.
Pull police cars from multiple precincts. You can't send one scout car into a crowd of 200 people and not put the officers at risk.
DPD's mobile field force
What?
put in place last summer after another illegal gathering on the city's east side where 21 people were shot, but their shift ends at 3 a.m.
It's becoming clear to the chief and me that these folks have figured out the mobile field force is going home at 3 o'clock and have adjusted their strategies.
Now that team will stay out until 5 a.m. Sources say these street takeovers draw crowds from the city and suburbs, and they organize on social media for social media.
They're not going to get no likes in the parking lot, but if they shut down 7 Mile, they will.
This time, Stephen cleaned up liquor bottles off the block. He says next time, he doesn't want it to be bodies.
Hopefully in the future, this is curtailed because
What?
it can potentially escalate into something far greater.
That's crazy.
Hey, you see that ring of fire lit by gasoline in the intersection?
Yes.
It's unbelievable. A lot of folks may be wondering why this intersection.
Girl,
of
you
7
need a
Mile
better
and Myers.
dress.
It's
I'm
unclear.
just
There's
saying.
3 or 4 green
I don't
light
like the dress.
locations
I
out
don't
there,
like the shoulder
cameras
pads.
everywhere. We didn't get a clear answer as to why that intersection.
I don't like
in
the shoulder
particular. Now,
pads.
another change that was announced today by the mayor, he says any gathering that comes in, any call that comes in about a gathering of young people, that's now going to be a priority 911 call. That means it's escalated to the top of the pile for DPD officers, and they'll respond quicker. Again, also that mobile unit that's trained to break up these kinds of gathering, they're extending their hours at least through the summer from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., hoping to end some of this pretty crazy activity. Reporting live on Detroit's west side.
That's
Jessica
wild.
Duknak, Fox 2 News.
You know, I'll preface it by saying these officers have incredibly difficult jobs that not all of us understand what goes into it. But you mentioned they were shooting off those firecrackers while first responders were at the
fireworks, not
scene. So I get that this
firecrackers.
was a tough scene to control, but 200 people in an hour and a half of this just going on. Is there a reason it went on for so long?
Well, Stefan, you heard from in this story there, he kept calling
That dress
911.
is
911 dispatchers reported that they
me
understood
sick.
that they were getting calls. But the problem is at 3 a.m., that mobile unit that's trained for this, they're gone for the night. Remember, it was 4th of July, so there's calls all over the city. So it was kind of a strategic manpower issue. You can't send one scout car into 200 people.
Sure.
You saw how rowdy it is. So it does make sense. It's hopefully something they can learn from, and this doesn't happen again.
Well, it sounds like they did, talking about the timing and what the mayor and the chief want to do to change it. Hey, they should all know the police are watching.
Listen, the police are watching, and I'm watching this dress. Okay, I'm sorry. This new station is my first time listening to them. Fox 2 in Detroit. I forgot what's her name already. But those shoulder pads. What is that? Wait a minute. What is this? What's this? What's this over here? Oh my goodness, you could be an elf. I mean, you're pretty small because I'm looking at the sidewalk and I'm looking at you, and I'm pretty good judge and size. You're probably about 5'2", maybe 5'3" with heels. You're very short. You look like an elf. I'm sorry. She looks like she belongs to the North Pole. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. It's Humpback Wednesday. It's craziness, right? You see what's going on in Detroit. They have those takeovers, burning cars, and all these people are just acting amok. They're going crazy out there in Detroit. We don't deserve to be on this planet. You know, it's just it's what it is. That's just what it is. We just don't deserve. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Let's go back to some Trump here. Trump announces 50% tariff on Brazil starting August 1st. Wait a minute. That's a lot of money. Wait a minute. That's a lot. 50% tariff on Brazil? Let's listen in.
News right now, another tariff letter from the president, this one with the highest rate we have seen so far. Megan Casella has a story for us. Hi, Megan.
Absolutely. Another letter has been posted on True Social. The president writing to the leader of Brazil, saying that he's imposing a 50% tariff on all imports coming in from Brazil as soon as August 1st, unless the country strikes some sort of a deal before then. Now, this letter, guys, is a little bit different from any of the ones that we've seen so far. For one, Brazil was not previously supposed to face a reciprocal tariff, a country-specific tariff. As of April, they only had the blanket 10% tariff. They weren't on the original list. Now that jumps to 50%. And at the end of the letter, the president also says that he's instructing his U.S. trade representative to launch a Section 301 investigation into all imports coming in from Brazil. That's a type of trade remedy. That means there might be harm due to Brazil's imports. That's what the investigation will be looking into. It's the same statute the president used in his first term to impose steep tariffs against China. So it's a longer process, but a little bit more legally rigorous, and those tariffs might be able to stay in place for longer. I will say for Brazil, they're in our top 20 trading partners. They're about 18th or so based on the latest data. About 1.3% of all U.S. imports come in from Brazil. So a 50% tariff would be steep for that. It's not the biggest trading partner, but one of the biggest that we've seen so far with all of these letters, guys.
Do we have any sense, at least yet, Megan, on how much that tariff and this idea of these Section 301 tariffs, which are tied to national security, might have to do with the growing relationship between Brazil and China, especially as this administration is looking to crack down and basically ring fence China, but crack down on transshipments?
it definitely could be part of it. All of these letters have actually included a clause on transshipments and saying that's one thing they do want to crack down on. A lot of this Brazil letter, which again, I'll emphasize is much different from any of the ones we've seen so far, which have all been sort of form letters. A lot of this is about the way that the president says that former Brazil president Bolsonaro has been treated. He says it's a witch hunt that should end immediately. And because of those domestic politics inside Brazil, he says that's a big reason why he's imposing this. So it's not so much a trade concern. It's not about the trade deficit or surplus or anything like that. It's more about those politics. It very well could be also the increasing relationship, as you say, with China as well.
Wow. Hey, you know, he's in charge, man. He's running the show. I'm just reporting the show. That's all. That's all I can do is just report, and that's wild. You know, it's crazy. Things are just really wild times we're living in. You know, it's like everything is not in our hands. It's out of our hands. The decisions that are being made, it's just being made, and that's it. You know, and just let it be. Brazil, you know, they're very close with China. They're because Brazil, they don't mind the cheap shit. They don't mind like Chinese made goods, and it's easier to trade, especially Brazil, because they go underneath the South of Africa. You know, they go through and they ship their containers through there, and this is direct, you know, to China, so they don't have to go through the dangerous routes of you know, the Red Sea, and have the Yemens, the Houthis attack your cargo ship like they did, and the damn ship freaking capsized, and all that oil, all that like contaminants is polluted the sea. It's what good is that for the earth? You know, no wonder the planet's speeding up faster. It wants to get rid of all of us. You know, she's gonna go as fast as she can, and we're all gonna be fucked. And just hold on tight, because this type of energy, the speed of how the planet's moving, will give you this sense of vertical. You'll start feeling a little lightheaded, and a little. You'll feel it. Trust me. A millisecond is more than enough for you to feel the pull and what's going on. That's wild. You know. Just we're living in very interesting times. I want to see this next story. This is like a survival story. This is part of the floods in Texas. I believe this is coming from Inside Edition, about a mother and a son, I believe, that survive clinging onto a tree. Yeah, let's just together, because it seems like it's going to be very interesting.
It's remarkable video of a teenager and his mom, each trapped in a tree, and mom is still in her nightgown.
I can climb higher, but I'm okay.
Floodwaters all but drowns out her reply.
Mom, are you in a tree? There's boats coming.
It was just terrifying.
Lindsay Robertson is now recovering from her injuries in a hospital.
The whole time we were just screaming, trying to hear and know that each of us were alive and okay.
What was that moment like, Lindsay, when you were able to hug your son again?
It's indescribable. It was the best.
I also spoke to Lindsay's 15-year-old son, Jack, who recorded the video in the tree, and his sisters, Riley and Molly. Believe it or not, the girls were away at Camp Mystic when Jack and his mom were trapped in the trees.
I couldn't even see her. It was too dark out. And so I was just trying to see where she was and like how high up she was.
Oh, what a beautiful family.
To be alive, and I'm so grateful that my family was okay, and
able to hang on.
Meanwhile, parts of New Mexico are
Wow,
suffering a
look at
flash flood
this.
nightmare of their own.
Oh no.
New Mexico.
Oh no.
This house is
Look.
washed away, and neighbors can only watch in horror.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Caitlin Carpenter shot the video of her best friend's house
Look at this.
being destroyed.
You never think that you're going to see a whole house floating down the river, let alone your best friend's house that you have
What?
memories in.
She filmed her best friend's house floating down the freaking road. That's wild. Hold on, let me make myself a little bit big here, but that's wild. Imagine you're like looking outside, you're like, holy shit, look at all that water. Mom, look. Wait a minute, is that Stephanie's house? That's Stephanie's house. Oh my god. Like you know, that's you don't see that shit every day. It's like your friend came by to visit you and her whole family inside the house. Like, are you kidding me? Oh man. It's you know, things are a little weird right now. The energy is very weird. I feel lightheaded. I do. You know, it can be the that's that millisecond, whatever is the nanosecond. I mean, it's enough to make you feel a little weird, a little woozy, because we are spinning faster. So, and each day we're going to be spinning faster. So it's not like, oh, it's just one day. No, it's like July and August that we're feeling this, and you know, it's some people they're sensitive enough that they feel this stuff. I just don't want it to go too fast because I don't want to be like too out of it. But we're living in interesting times, very interesting times. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I know the train. It's like I'm thinking, and the train of truth comes. It's the train of truth. I was thinking about the movies because I was thinking about the Superman movie that came out, right? But I heard is really political, and I was trying to see if I get people's opinion if I should go watch it or not, and give my opinion of if it is political or not, or what made it political. I think I would need to watch it in order to give my side, my opinion on it. I don't know if I'm gonna go tomorrow or Friday. I gotta check my AMC. I believe that movie's in 3D too. So I gotta check my AMC account. Get 50% off movie tickets at AMC Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Ooh, 50% off? That's a good deal. I'll be going to the movie theaters on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yeah, look. That's a new thing. That's new. That just started for the members, for Stub members. 50% off tickets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Get half off tickets 2 days a week. Introducing 50% off tickets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for AMC Stubs members. Woo woo! That's what's up. Let me take a screenshot of this. It'll last me longer. That's what I say. It's like take a screenshot. It'll last you longer. That's pretty cool. The one I mean. Let me see. What is this movie? Is this the rated R one? Okay, I think that was the movie. Well, I'm gonna see. I'm there's Yeah, Superman, right? Because it comes out the 11th, but I could get an early bird like watch, and I can watch it in 3D, and it starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and then I can report about it tomorrow. How y'all feel about that? Kind of like that idea, because that way I can watch it digitally, the digital version of Superman, or in 3D. I think it'll be more badass in 3D. So maybe in 3D will be better, and it won't like the political shit, whatever it is, because I know it's about the illegal alien, because Superman is a illegal alien because he comes from, he's not from this planet. So technically he's a true alien. I don't know about illegal, but he is an alien. He's not from this planet. So I guess they try to get like politically like in like with Superman. I don't know. I'm so used to the older Superman movies. The older Superman movies are really cool. With what's his name? Oh, he passed away too. He had he fell I think he fell off like what's his name? Reeves. Can't get his first name. I'm thinking about him, but I'm thinking like about a whole bunch of things at the same time, because he fell off the horse, right, and he damaged his spine and ended up being paralyzed and so forth, and really fucked up his whole life, and he ended up passing away. But I'm thinking about going to see the new Superman and watching it tomorrow. And if I do go watch it, it will have to be in 3D, just because to give it the whole effect and to give my honest opinion, if it's worth watching, and if it's worth watching it in 3D. I think it'll be a great report back to those who watch my show and get my opinions on like movies and everything that I do, and give my opinions and talk about it. That's what I've been doing lately, talking about the news and giving my what I feel and give my opinion. But let's see, what time is it? I think I'm gonna get off soon because I've been on already 2 hours and a half. And my neck is starting to hurt me. Let's see. Let's finish off with one. Let's see. A crazy story. It's like, oh shit, a crazy story. Yeah, let's go with something crazy that I have open here. Okay, let's go with this one. This will be the last one for the night. I will be signing off after this video, so let's enjoy it together and give me your opinion.
Hold back, hold back.
Okay, and yeah, it was going crazy there. The video is going crazy. Bear with me. Let's see what's happening over there. Yeah, that's StreamYard. There you go. All right, I don't know what's going on here. We had it all good throughout the night. Like, let's go ahead and hit pause on it, bring it back to me, and let's let it upload. Yeah, it's people attacking the ICE facilities and ambushing the ICE detention centers and opening fire on the agents and officers. And yesterday I reported on one of them that the officers returned fire and killed the motherfucker. And they showed his body on the floor. Like, he was dead. And they arrested 10 individuals. And they were all like very liberal looking. And they all look very liberal looking. They fit the liberal like profile. And not the prettiest of the bunch. Like, they were really really wild looking. Let me see if I have this uploaded yet. Should be a little uploaded. I don't even know why it's doing that, but maybe let me close out some windows. That'll probably help it out. Because I always open up a lot of windows. But my system could handle it. I got a good system. It's just they keep modifying the system, you know. It's like it's not in my hands. Close all this. That lady with the green dress kills me. That dress is so ugly. I'm like, what are those? The shoulder pads. I thought she was like a football player or something. Not good. All right, let's see this in StreamYard. Let's go ahead and open this up here. And let's play it. Shooting fireworks here. I'm telling you, fireworks, they don't stop. But look at this. Why do they have their face covered? The people that are there, why are they screaming? Why are they there? Why are they putting themselves in that position? What is going on here? These people standing in front of the car. These cops can run them over. Yeah, they can get run over. How is this not obstruction? Yeah, they're gonna run you over. Yeah, bye. Yeah, that's what you get. Play stupid games, get stupid rewards. I did not feel bad for that person. Should not have been on the car. Too bad. All these people should be like arrested and thrown in prison for interference. And they're chasing down the vehicle. That's crazy.
are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
Look, what are you gonna say? I would hit him right across the head with the fucking baton. Look at these guys. How the fuck they get back in the car again? Yo, this is like super interference. Like, what's going on here? They're gonna get run over again. Mhm. What is this? Why are they screaming? Oh, they can arrest that motherfucker. Where this guy is, they should just arrest him and throw his ass in jail. Yeah, sprayed him with pepper spray. They sprayed him with pepper spray. There you go. You heard him scream? Ah! Look. Oh, he's not acting so bad now, right?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Ah, now you're not so bad now, right? You're there laying on the floor, talking all that shit. What are these people? What's their goal? Like, that's what I would like to know. What is the goal of these people that are interfering? They come back here. Like, who the fuck are y'all to say that? Like, who's this person? Was this that? Like, why? Like, what the fuck is they doing? Oh, they should arrest all these people. Like, bring a paddy wagon, bring a bus, like bring like 3-4 buses, right? And a whole crew, right? And do this operation again, and then you see how you get all these people that are interrupting and so forth. You arrest them, and then you throw them all on the bus. You throw them all on the bus, and you throw them to jail. They'll be in jail. This is in San Francisco, by the way. That's wild, right? This is America. This is America. You see these antagonizers, what they're doing? All these should be arrested. You know what I mean? Why they're not arresting them is beyond my like comprehension. Like, but this is interference, and this is police. They're running down police. This is ICE police officers.
You should be ashamed. Quit your job. Quit your job. Quit your job. Quit your job.
I'll punch him right in the face, yo. Oh my god, I couldn't be an officer. I totally would like attack him. Stupid. Where those people are, they're just vigilantes, and they need to be arrested. Like, where's the paddy wagons? Where's this operation needs to be like more planned better. But this guy was walking backwards for a long time.
Your grandchildren are going to learn what terrible monsters you are today.
Listen to this one.
Be like you.
Listen to these people. You're accessories to families. Wait, what? He's walking backwards, but he can still whip his ass. Like he's like a little pit bull.
You get a paycheck to be a football. I'm here because I stand
Stupid.
for what I believe. I stand on business. You stand for being a little.
Does he have camera? Nah, he doesn't have camera on him.
He doesn't. Except for a paycheck.
He doesn't stand for anything. Only for a paycheck. So stupid. This is a great way to end the night. Holy shit! This guy's walking for a long distance backwards. I'm pretty impressed. Shit, he has another 6 more minutes. Let's see if he walks backwards for another 6 more minutes. I mean, walking backwards for that long is very impressive. Okay, that's very fucking impressive.
There's only going to be more of us next time. There's more of us next time, motherfucker. Are you ready? You think you're ready?
What the hell's going on with these people? It's stupid. Man, he's still walking backwards. Holy shit.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
They gotta arrest all these people, man. Like those people that are standing in front of them, they should be arrested. Like, what's going on here? What the hell's wrong with these people? Don't go fucking do it. No more. Who is she to tell them to do what? Y'all just kidnappers. That's it. They got tired. They're arresting some of them. Yeah, plain stupid reward. There you go. That's what you get.
Media, man. Fuck you.
Oh, look at the cop. That's an ICE police officer with a gun.
Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back!
Start arresting people. And throwing people on the floor. They call him Nazis. The guy doesn't look Nazi. He looks more Filipino than anything. He looks very Asian, but they're calling an Asian guy a Nazi. Okay. These people are a bunch of fucking clowns. I'm sorry. They're the shame. They need to have a better setup. Like this guy here walking in front of them, they need to pull his ass out of the way. He's walking backwards the whole time. Oh, look, they're going to the building. That's the United States. That's a safe haven area for them. That's the appraiser's building. That's government building. They're saying fuera, and they're saying in Spanish, and they want ICE. So they want the Americans out, right? Out of California. That's funny. That's, I tell you, that just gave me my exit for the night. Oh, the stupidity runs deep in this country. I tell you, I'm rooting for the asteroid. Where are you? I know you're out there. I've seen you before, and you're coming eventually. Just humanity doesn't deserve like Earth. Earth is so ships for the oil in the waters, and we don't care about life. We just like want to always argue and protest and cause havoc. And are they ever going to stop? Are they going to be held accountable? Where's the make accountability great again? We need that, and all these protesters that interfere and get in front of these ICE agents and so forth, they should start making some prisons. I mean, I envisioned it. I try to pass that message to Trump to open more prisons, at least like 13 of them. 13, you open up, a couple of like good prisons, supermax prisons, like one or two of them, like a super max prison. And you got to get these people under control, and that'll open up a lot of jobs. They'll be well funded, and great benefits and so forth, and it gives a good job for the future to work at, and with good benefits. You know what I mean? But that's my thinking. Open up a good 13 prisons, and like a good 5 of them, make them like really big, so to arrest like these individuals that are interfering with ICE, well, handcuff those motherfuckers, put them in a paddy wagon, put them in a bus, and take them to the prison. And trust me, you're not gonna get out right away. It's interfering in ICE, and the ICE operation should be, they should come with some kind of penalty of 1 year to 2 years in prison. Easily. Okay. And that's just interfering, obstruction, like what Mayor Karen Bass did yesterday. 2 to 5 years for her. Because she is a mayor, she should know better, but she thinks she's above the law, and she thinks she's more stronger than the federal government. That's going to be a nice little battle. Let's see who wins. I heard Gavin Newsom was going to run for presidency. Did you hear about that crazy news? Yeah. That's just wild. Let's watch this one before I leave, because Gavin Newsom running for 2028. What do you guys think? Would you vote for Gavin Newsom? Ugh. Hail to the no. Hail to the no.
We're back in here to live now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. This next story has me asking myself, what year is it? The 2028 presidential election is more than 3 years out, but some potential candidates are already meeting voters in some early key primary states. And as we know, the race for the White House is a marathon, not a sprint. California Governor Gavin Newsom is one of those potential candidates. We're being joined right now by Fox's Asher Red as he follows follows the Democrat on a 2-day tour of rural South Carolina. Thank you so much for joining us from Lawrence, South Carolina in the Palmetto State. What did you hear from Newsom? What was his message to voters a long way out?
Well, good evening, Andy. Gavin Newsom, a Democrat from California, traveled all the way here to rural South Carolina to pitch his political views to historically Republican voters. Now, this church behind me is where his last event of the day just wrapped up, and he's already headed back to California. But Newsom isn't the only one who seems to be testing the waters of a possible presidential bid. For many, it feels like the 2024 campaign just ended, but that's not stopping potential candidates from getting an early start on 2028.
I need some coffee.
If Governor Newsom does decide to run for president, an official announcement likely won't come for quite some time. But that didn't stop the California Democrat from bringing his message to voters in rural South Carolina this week.
The question is, how do we not only repair the party brand, but repair this nation, and how do we move from a defensive posture to an inspiring vision? And so that has to also be the project that occurs concurrently as we push back against Trump and Trumpism.
Newsom told people in South Carolina that the country needs less political polarization, and that's something a lot of voters here are thinking about too.
I think the polarization isn't going to end, which is why we need strong Democrats to combat that.
Other Democrats stirring speculation about potential White House runs include Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. He spoke at a Democratic fundraiser in New Hampshire in April. In May, former Transportation Secretary and 2020 Democratic candidate Pete Buttigieg held a town hall in Iowa.
There's also no natural front runners in the Democratic Party. You know, they kind of have a spotty bench. It's a little bit anybody's game if you can get out there and build a reputation.
Some political analysts say the early bird approach could help candidates build name recognition while they test out their pitch to voters.
Some of what's going on, I think, probably too, is political messaging. And, you know, what works and what doesn't work and what resonates with people.
And Republicans are also heading to early primary states as well. Just later this summer, Governor Glenn Youngkin of Virginia is expected to speak at events both in Iowa and right here in South Carolina. Andy?
All right, thank you so much. It's always interesting when we see these potential candidates always stops coincidentally in early primary states. Gavin Newsom, though, has pushed back that he's not seeking a bid to the White House, right?
Yeah, he did reiterate he's not publicly at least seeking any Oval Office position. As of right now, obviously that could change, especially if he flew from California all the way here to South Carolina to do this. But in 2020, he is term limited for governor of California. We asked him if he thinks Kamala Harris would take his position, and he said he doesn't know that either, but he wouldn't be surprised.
All right, very good. My last question before I let you go, because we know what happened.
Kamala Harris running California? That's crazy.
Dropped out. Were there any questions about why he didn't campaign, why he didn't step in to try to earn a bid just this last cycle?
In the words of Governor Newsom, he said Democrats were licking their wounds after what happened with that. He was saying it was a little too late for Biden to step out of the race when he did, and for Kamala Harris to come in. But he did say that right now they're starting to reevaluate what they're doing to put the Democratic Party in another direction, to put the party less on the defensive and more in front of how voters might think, and be more proactive about what's going on in the future.
And that's maybe why they're stepping out there in the limelight, in the spotlight, 3 years out from this next presidential cycle. All right, thank you so much, Asher. I appreciate your time here on Live Now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up because it's crazy times we're living in. Very, very, very weird times. Gavin Newsom running for presidency, that's disturbing. That's very disturbing. Well, it was one hell of a show. I made it to 3 hours, so that's good enough for me. My neck is killing me. So I want you guys to continue to have a good morning, good afternoon, good night, and definitely catch you on the flip side. I'm thinking about going tomorrow to see the Superman movie. So possibly I could come on here tomorrow night and give a review, give my opinion on what I think of the movie. This Till then, see y'all later, alligators. And a wild crocodile. Peace.